Hello and welcome to a new podcast, the Gaming Galore Podcast. We and currently with two hosts, me, Luca, or also known as Obster, and you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, and I am Gillsboro, also known as Gil.
And so we basically like video games a lot and talk about video games a lot. Obviously, there were a bunch of other people. But this is kind of based on a chat we have. And so other people might join in the future. But today we're kind of doing the first episode just us two, just to kick this off. It's been an idea well, I mean, an actual idea just for a little bit, but it's a fun idea. I like doing podcasts. I like talking about stuff I'm passionate about. So um, I was like, yeah, we need to do that, and so um, we're here doing it. We're finally so how are you doing
Yes,
today?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm doing fine. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, nothing really interesting going on with me at the
Yeah, I
moment.
don't
I'm
really
just
have
like,
anything interesting going on, honestly.
yeah, it's just normal kind of week to week stuff at the moment
Yeah,
for me.
yeah.
So yeah, so we've got a lot of stuff on today. To talk about. We have a what we're gonna do is we have a main topic that's kind of um like just like a general kind of gaming topic, I guess that isn't necessarily, it's kind of an evergreen. I call it the evergreen section. I don't know, just because then we have a kind of a section on the recent kind of news, mainly Nintendo, because most of the time I don't really have much to say on stuff that isn't Nintendo, to be honest. I mean, it depends, but um, and then we have obviously we're going to talk about what we've been playing, if we've been playing anything interesting, and having a chat about that. So, should we dive into the evergreen topics here?
Yeah,
So,
let's get into it. Let's get into it. What have you been playing recently? I know you've been playing Resident
mhm,
Evil. Which one are you on
yeah.
right now?
So I'm currently playing Resident Evil 9. Sorry, why is it? Is it 7? I'm playing Resident Evil
Yeah,
7
I
at
was
the
gonna
moment.
say.
No, I played Resident Evil 9 already. Yeah, I'm playing Resident Evil 7, Biohazard. And yeah, I mean, I mean, the fact that I played 9 first, I guess I kind of was eased into the change up, I guess, in terms of the first person gameplay of Resident Evil 7. Um, and I mean, I'm enjoying it so far. I like the vibe. I just think it's really interesting. Like the it's set in like is it Louisiana? I think it's like in the it's that kind of area.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and it's like this the haunted house kind of vibe. Each section seemed to be like based on a different horror trope, which I found really interesting so far. Like the first one was like The Shining almost, and then the second one was like was like bug horror and like body horror almost. And then this one I'm going into now is apparently like it's an escape room kind of like a Saw movie, and I'm like I'm really interested to see kind of what other how many other ones there are and what kind of other themes they could have. So I'm actually really enjoying it so far. I mean, I just quite like the gameplay loop of Resident Evil, to be honest. I just like you going around. I don't know, just like the puzzle kind of. It's a bit like a Metroidvania, to be honest. They all feel like
Yeah,
that to me.
yeah. And I think if correct me if I'm wrong, I think the Capcom devs behind Resident Evil actually coined that term, Metroidvania. So it makes sense. Um,
Did
I
they?
do think I think they did, yeah. I do think seven, at least in terms of the newer entries, it's the strongest thematically, if that makes sense.
Right.
I
What
don't
by
know if
theme?
you've played eight yet, but I think it's a lot stronger than eight.
Hmm. Yeah, I
And
haven't.
then,
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
oh yeah, I was just gonna say, and then nine. I do think nine overall is a better game, but seven as just a cohesive game, I think it is stronger.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I haven't. So I own eight. I haven't played eight. But I mean, so I can see what you mean though. With Resident Evil 9, it is. I mean, I really liked Resident Evil 9. Um, I really liked it, but it is kind of two. It is two different games. It's two different games in one.
Yeah,
But I love
yeah.
both games. So,
Which one would you say you prefer so far?
to be honest, I What between like over like between the two different types of games within Resident Evil 9 or like between 9 and 7?
Hmm. So you've played two, right? Two remake.
Yeah, I've played so far I've played 2 remake, I've played 3 remake, I've played 4 remake, um and then I'm playing 7, so and I've played 9, so
Okay, so
yeah.
I'll pivot the question then. What do you prefer between the action horror and the survival horror?
Yeah, I mean, so my I prefer that survival horror. I mean, Resident Evil 2 is my favorite of the Resident Evil 2 remakes, my favorite of
Really?
the
Okay.
yeah, yeah. I just really enjoyed like I mean Retroid Resident Evil 2 remake felt the most like a Metroid game to me. I'm not sure why. It just really did. It just felt like a. It felt like. This sounds weird. I do like the Prime games, but it feels like a better Metroid Prime, to
Yeah,
be honest.
yeah,
Like I like a Metroid Prime game that's designed like a Resident Evil 2. But yeah, I know. I just think it's the. I mean, especially in that game, you're just kind of going around. I mean, it's just constant puzzles, and it's just like you're going back and forth. Um, I think the stalker enemy. I love that. I love the stalker enemy. This it's
yeah,
terrifying. It's genuinely scary.
yeah. And two remake is one that I've actually been wanting to revisit because I feel like I've been underrating that one just a little bit. Um, it's funny because I went back after or not replaying nine after playing nine, I went back to four, and then I went back to two remake a little bit. And I'm like, two remake to me seems like easily the best one, or at least it seems more to my taste. So
Mm.
I've got to go back and finish that one. I have not actually played three remake.
Yeah. So the thing is, I'm coming from. I haven't played the original Resident Evil 2, and I haven't played the original Resident Evil 3. I know that. I mean, have you played the originals 2 and 3, or have you?
I've played the original two. I've
Hmm.
played the original three, but I have not finished it. So I don't
I
have
see.
a like conclusive opinion on three. But
Right.
the original two, I actually think I've been overrating that one a little bit because I went back to that one as well. So I definitely need to go back and replay those ones.
Yeah, because the thing is with especially with Resident Evil 3, the remake. I mean, I know it cut out a lot of
Yeah,
content.
yeah.
And obviously playing it without that context. I mean, the fact going in, I knew that there was stuff cut out, so I guess I was like, oh, that I can kind of see maybe where something was cut out. Um, but I mean, hearing about some of the stuff that was cut out, and I'm just like, I'm a bit confused. I mean, the game isn't really that much shorter than. I mean, well, yeah, I should take that back. It is shorter than an average Resident Evil game. It is.
It's
It
like
is.
4 hours, isn't
I
it?
literally finished it in 2 sessions. Like,
Jesus
that's
Christ,
me. I
yeah.
don't finish games that quickly. I'm still so I don't know. It is quite short. It was fun. I enjoyed it, but of all the Resident Evil games I've played so far, each of them I've kind of left them really loving them. And out of Resident Evil 3 Remake, I was just like, it was good. It was fun, I guess. I kind of forgot about it afterwards. Um, they yeah, I heard that it was a different development studio from the two
I think
remakes.
yeah, I've heard that as well. It's kind of an offspring of the main development team, but I'm not sure. I'm not really sure, honestly.
Yeah, but it's kind of unfortunate because I feel like two. I mean, 2 and 4 are like very highly regarded remakes. I feel.
Yeah, and that's kind of what bothers me is that two, regardless of your opinion on it, it's a very well crafted game, and
Mm.
there's a lot of love put into it, a lot of respect owed to the original as well. But three, I don't, I feel like it just kind of churned out, and just like not really a lot of detail put into it, not a lot of love put into it. It's just like here, like just have it, like
Yeah,
I don't know.
it was kind of rushed out. I mean, it was literally the year
Yeah,
afterwards,
the year
apparently.
after, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they just. I guess the idea was just I don't know, just go back to back with them. I mean, did they plan it before? I mean, they couldn't have like rushed it out within a year's frame, a year's time, could they? I mean, I think
No,
I
I
don't think
think they were
so.
in development at the same time.
Mm.
which would make sense to me, but it just feels like three did not have nearly as many resources or people behind it. I could be wrong, but that's just the impression I
Yeah, I
get.
mean, what they should have done is they should have probably pushed it a year and maybe got the
I
main team on
agree,
it.
dude. I
Yeah.
agree. I feel it. It's a game that honestly needs another remake, but I mean,
Uh,
whatever.
I mean, I saw like someone said that they should do like a director's cut and like just basically
Yeah,
just
yeah.
re-release the game, but then add sections, and that
That's
wouldn't
that's a good idea. Yeah.
because I think at the core of it, I think some, well, again, that's my issue, right? Is I can't really speak on this because I'm saying, oh, I'm sure I haven't played the original, so I don't know what parts of it that aren't just the cut content is
Yeah.
worse. Like I can't tell. Um, but I mean, Nemesis in that game was I quite. I mean, some people didn't like him, thought they ruined him in this game, but I in the
That's what I've
remake.
heard too. Yeah.
But I mean, from my experience, I thought he was, I quite enjoyed him because he was basically Mr. X, but on steroids.
Yeah.
He was just like shooting me with lasers. It was ridiculous. It was like I couldn't
Yeah.
even take him seriously sometimes. It was just like
Yeah,
he
no,
grabbed you with the tentacles, like oh dear.
yeah, I've definitely got to give that one a chance. I've gotten the impression that people are too hard on it, but I also understand just
Hmm.
releasing a remake and just cutting half of the game out of it. That is frustrating. And I definitely like the idea of a director's cut, honestly.
Yeah, and so I mean, so with those remain, so you I know you were a big Resident Evil 4 fan.
Yes.
Um, so you've played, obviously you've played both. Um, I can't remember. I know that well, one of our friends, Max. I don't even know if his name is actually Max, but we just call him Max. But I just can't get out of that bit. But no, again, we'll call him Faris. So we'll be respectful to him. We'll call him
Yeah.
Faris.
Yeah.
He's very kind of not anti remake, but like very kind of judging of the remake, like saying, oh, it's like he's almost like offended that people would play the remake instead of the original. Like, what was your opinion on that?
I think so when it comes to Ferris, at least, I think it comes from a place of joking, but it does come from like an actual place of people like there's another person in our server, Ali, who
Hmm.
completely disregards the original and only plays the remake, which, that's your prerogative, whatever. But as someone who values games, especially the original interpretation of a game, I
Hmm.
believe at least giving it a try. You don't have to like it, you don't have to enjoy it. You can prefer the original. That's fair, but at
Hmm.
least try the original, or prefer the remake. Sorry. Um,
Yeah.
at least try the original. I am one of those people that I am not necessarily anti remake. I would even say I'm pro remake on a good day,
Mm.
but I am also someone who respects the original vision of works, and I do not like the idea of, oh, I'm just going to ignore the original because the remake is out.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is with I mean, it's an interesting discussion to have because when you like match up like film, sorry, when you match up like film remakes and like game remakes, and the discourse is so different around those because there is no way. Sorry, I'm sorry.
No, you're
All
good.
right, okay, my throat, clear my throat. Nobody in their right mind is going to like not watch the original movie, like because
Exactly.
there's no reason why you wouldn't. But with games, um, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't play the original, but I think there's more of a like it's more of a mechanical thing. You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying that you shouldn't that you shouldn't play the original because of that, but sometimes, especially with Resident Evil 2 and 3, not with 4 because 4 is different. I mean, I haven't played 4. I own 4 now, the original. I'm gonna play it, but but with the original 2 and 3, I mean, I haven't played them, but they seem such like fundamentally different games. But I mean, at the same time, and that's why you would want to play them. So,
Yeah.
but they are from like the way they control and the way that they look like they control and with the ribbons as the I mean they still have the ribbons as an option in the modern ones, but It is like fundamentally a different game, and like the mechanics are very kind of they're from a different time, and so with a film remake, it's pointless. Like, there's no reason to ever play or sorry, watch the remake of a movie because it's just pointless. It's just like you're sat there and it's just something to made for money. But with a game remake, I feel like there's more to be gained from it. So I feel like I can see more why someone would play a remake and maybe not play the original. Although I obviously I agree with you that people should be open to the original and like just to respect the preservation of that game. But like I feel like there's more incentives for a game remake compared to a film remake, and I think that's just quite interesting.
Yeah, and I think it's just the way the mediums work because movies are they are better preserved. I don't want to say they are preserved at like extremely well, but they are better preserved than games are. Games a
Mm.
lot of the time are just lost to time or they're stuck on a console. So I understand wanting to play a remake and not necessarily wanting to put in the effort to play the original. But with Resident Evil, I feel like there's not really an excuse, especially with like 4, for example, because it's
Mm.
on everything. And
Yeah.
it's not really that
Same here.
hard to buy them. It's always on sale. There's not really an excuse. And my view of it is art is meant to be reinterpreted, not replaced. So when someone just disregards the original, I can understand why someone would be offended. I sometimes get offended at it because it's just like it's just disrespectful in my opinion. It's just why are you not giving the original a chance, you know? And it
Yeah.
also speaks to a myopic kind of narrow-minded view of oh, I can only play the most accessible and easiest, I guess, controlling or easiest
Yeah.
mechanically game in the series, you know?
Yeah, and this is not really like the same kind of thing, but I just had the same thought because I came back, so I watched this is not even game related. I watched Michael
Okay.
today, and in the car back, and I was talking to I mean I watched it with my family, so I watched it, and we were talking about I was talking about all my issues with it because it's not a good film, but that's a side. But the reason it isn't a good film is because it is trapped in this biopic kind of template that it has to have because it has to like legitimize and make Michael Jackson as this god essentially.
Right.
So it can't be an interesting film from an art perspective. But then if you point that out, some people just don't want to hear that because they think that like it's the same thing with the Mario Galaxy movie. I feel like just it's so many like adaptations or like or interpretations of certain popular things. It's if you criticize them for not being as maybe art as maybe interesting as they could be, then it's like, whoa, what did you expect? What so I feel like sometimes I mean I think it's just like it's almost anti kind of I mean, I sound a bit pretentious saying it. It's a bit anti-intellectual. It's just a bit
You
like,
know, you're
yeah,
right. You're right. I
yeah.
agree.
It's just like it's a similar topic. That's what I was thinking. It's like it's like a Minecraft movie could have like they could have done a good one. Like I mean, when you say the idea, oh, they could have done a good live action Minecraft movie, people would laugh at you, going, no, there's no way they could do one. Why not? Well, there could be a good script. There could be a good crew. But it's not because it can't happen. It's because the people that own the property won't let it happen. So anyway, that's not really
Right.
actually
Yeah.
related to this entire. That's just a
No,
that's a
but I
side
agree with you.
tangent, but it's
Yeah.
true. It annoys me sometimes. It's just like why not? Why can't it happen? And it's just
Yeah,
sometimes
and it is interesting actually the Mario Galaxy movie because the view of those movies is oh they're for kids, they're not supposed to be good. It's like why can't they be good? There's plenty of other animated films that are good. And if we're going to go into the topic of video game adaptations, people would say the Sonic movies are good. I wouldn't say that, but
mm,
people like those movies, especially the third one. It has an actual story to tell, an
mm.
actual emotional, it has emotional beats. It connects with people. With the Mario movies, I don't get why those ones get a pass. in
Mm.
the sense that, oh, they don't have to tell a story. Why? There is a lot of, regardless of what you think of Mario, there's a lot of story to tell with Mario, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that people again, it's just it's people have like a reduced standard, and then like it's like there are so many kids films that are great. Like I mean the biggest comparison is the Lego Movie. I don't know what you
Right.
think of the Lego Movie, but I mean I've watched it like recently. Well, not that recently, but like a couple of years ago, and I still loved it. Like I think that's a great film, and it's a movie about Lego. Like it's a brand movie and it has a bunch of cameos with different characters like Batman and Gandalf and all these like it's basically what the Galaxy movie is, except it has substance. Like it's actually trying to be a good movie that has like a story essentially. So you can make a good movie out of anything. You can make uh yeah, it's just not it's just people have like a lower standard for this, and so they think, oh, well, it's just for kids. Yeah, so does that mean that if they release a terrible 3D Mario game, that the argument would be, oh, yeah, it's just for kids, though, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's a good segue into what we actually talked about a few days ago when it comes to Nintendo. The Yoshi games also get that kind of pass. I feel like a lot of Nintendo games get that pass, but Yoshi specifically, I'm like, well, no, Yoshi games can be good. They've been good before. There's no reason why just because they're for kids, they have to be simplistic, mindless games, you know?
Yeah, I mean that's interesting with the Yoshi. I mean, so I think the thing with the new Yoshi game is that it's kind of so what we learned is that the enemies don't hurt you in this game. And it's not really like a traditional platform, and it's like it's a game where you're going around like discovering different creatures and like seeing what they do, like what their kind of their kind of behaviors are, and that you can name them and stuff like that. And I can argue that that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, it looks like it is easy and it is for children. I kind of agree with you on that front that that Yoshi games like Yoshi's Island was like that's a game that's not like a easy game. It's not like I mean it's not
Yeah,
a hard
no.
game, but it's not an easy game. Like you can make a Yoshi game that isn't like tough but isn't too easy. But with this game specifically. I mean, I'm not sold on it fully. I don't think I'm going to get it, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think it's quite interesting. I mean, I just like I like the idea that you're going around like discovering different things and like discovering different behaviors. The only thing is, I don't know how interesting they're going to actually be with it. That's the thing. I don't know how
Yeah,
interesting it's actually.
it's kind of what I'm worried about too, is just how far they're gonna go with it. And it kind of reminds me of Peach, what is it called? Peach Showtime, whatever that game is.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's the thing is Pete. I mean, Pete showed that. Okay, I never played it, but like that game, I remember every time we saw it, and it was just like. So that's it. Like
Yeah. What are we
that's
aiming
it.
for here? Yeah.
It's
And
like it looked like an yeah.
it seemed like just a very simplistic, just mindless, turn your brain off kind of game, which is it's not necessarily inherently a bad thing,
Mm.
but I do miss when Nintendo used to make games that had urgency, that had difficulty. I feel like a lot of Nintendo games nowadays just don't have that, you know?
Yeah, I mean even some of my favorites of recent time aren't even that hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
As much as we love Bonanza, we
yeah.
have to admit it wasn't necessarily a hard game.
Yeah, I'm not I'm personally I understand what you mean. I think it would annoy me more if it was a new 2D one. Like if it was a new 2D Donkey Kong and it wasn't hard or
Yeah.
challenging, that would be a bit more annoying to me. I think with the third dimension, with everything that's going on Bonanza, like difficulty isn't, although some of the bosses are like insultingly easy to be fair, but
Yeah.
the main one isn't. So I mean, we'll take that.
Yeah.
The King K. Rool, he's not easy. He's not. I mean, he's not like that challenging, but he was like decent.
Yeah.
Not easy. So I know some people that were like, raging on that one. I mean, I figured it out after like three
It
goes, but
wasn't that hard,
it
but
wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't that hard. It was all right. But anyway, going back to like the main original topic, to be
yeah.
fair, because I think no, I mean I like going off on a tangent, but because with Resident Evil, I think one interesting thing that you mentioned in the chat, like I forget when it was, but I think it was closest to Resident Evil 9's release. But you were saying how you didn't how you didn't really think that modern Resident Evil was for you. And I think we talked
Right.
about it a little bit, like when I was saying which one I prefer, survival horror or action horror. But especially since your favorite, I mean, I don't know if your favorite is Resident Evil 4, but I get the impression that your favorite is Resident Evil 4, which is
Yeah.
more action oriented. Uh, what is it kind of your opinion on? Can you just elaborate maybe on your opinion of modern Resident Evil?
Yeah, and I think Resident Evil 9 is kind of the perfect game for me to explain my feelings. I think Resident Evil is kind of at a creative dead end. Um,
Mhm.
Resident Evil 9, it's a good game. I enjoyed it. I'm not going to say it was a terrible game, but to me, it kind of illustrated how little Resident Evil has evolved since 4. I think 4 evolved the formula so much that
Mm,
there was nowhere to really go but down. And that's why every game after it, like 5, 6, not going to say 7, but 8, were not that great in my opinion. 5 is good, but it's not as good as 4. But 9 specifically, I think, especially with Leon sections, I feel it's just too action oriented. There's no real stakes, not a lot of difficulty, not a lot of thought put into the enemy variety or design or the placement. It's
mm,
very into the how can I say this? I guess the power fantasy of it, which is it
right.
has its own value, especially after the survival horror elements of Grace. But I think it's too much. And I think Capcom doesn't know how to reel themselves in when it comes to the action stuff. And
Right.
then they don't go far enough when it comes to the survival horror. So Grace, I thought, was easily the best part of the game.
Mm,
But still, I feel like, especially when it comes to, because I played on classic, so I
yeah.
had the ink ribbons. Did not really make that much of a difference, honestly. I could have just played the normal way and it wouldn't have made a difference whatsoever. The game is way too liberal with ink ribbons, way too liberal with item
Right.
distribution. It's just not that, for a game that's trying to be a survival horror game, it's not that tense. And
Okay.
I feel like the Mr. X kind of enemy, I forget their name, doesn't really have enough
The
of a
girl.
presence for, yeah, the girl doesn't really have enough of a presence for me personally. I feel like it should have had way more of a overall just presence within her sections. And then I feel like the her weakness is just way too exploitable. Like there's just not a lot of, I guess it's not tense, it's not scary, it's not really stressful in the way that older Resident Evil games are.
Yeah, I can kind of see what you're saying there. I mean, personally, I feel like I disagree with your opinion on the gray sections. And I mean, for me, those were actually quite stressful. I actually I really liked the girl. As I guess you're saying it's quite exploitable, and it's with the lights,
Yes.
isn't it? Um, and like yeah, that's true. I mean, it is more exploitable than like Mr. X, who basically, he there's nothing that really stops him. To be honest, he's just kind of. But the difference is that you can kind of pass Mr. X in a hallway. I mean, it'd be kind of not that easy to do, but you can just run past him. With the girl, it felt like sometimes it was just like if you kind of went the wrong way, then she'd basically bite your head off. And that initial encounter was also quite that initial encounter. I didn't really look too much into anything with Resident Evil 9, so I didn't even know the girl was this like stalker character, and so
Mm.
her face comes out, and yeah, I honestly I thought, especially with the care center, I thought the entire Rose Hill care center section, it felt like Resident Evil 2, but then the zombies themselves had like personality to them. Like I thought it was really interesting how like there was like these different types of zombies that had different like behaviors. Um, I constantly felt like I was at the brink of death. I just,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just not. Maybe I'm not as good at games as you are, but I was there. Kind of. I felt, and also the first person. I hadn't. I was initially going to try doing the third person for Grace. I was like, I prefer third person, but
Mhm.
the game really does feel like it's designed for her to be in first person.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it in third person. It just felt really awkwardly placed the
Yes.
camera, and it was like I see what they were trying to do, but the position wasn't didn't really work for first. And I think it's just better in first person. Um,
Yeah, and I'll actually get into that, but let me address what you said before
mhm,
in that the girl, if you get into like a the wrong position, I guess, you get punished for it, which
mhm,
I agree. But if you get punished for it, it's like, oh, I have like three healing items in my inventory, so it's not really a punishment.
mm,
I feel like Grace's inventory expands way too quickly. So yeah, you will get punished for making mistakes, but there's usually an out, which
yeah,
I really enjoy how let's talk about Resident Evil 1, for example.
mm,
If you make a string of wrong decisions, you can be completely fucked. And I personally enjoy that. I can understand why someone wouldn't, but
mm,
I like that. And I feel like that tension and that just pervasive, I don't know, just knowing that you can mess up at any time is just not present in Resident Evil 9. And
right.
then I also played great. I played through her whole section in third person, which did
Mm.
not feel great. Um,
Well, you played the
that it,
entire section in third person.
I played her entire section in third person, and I
Mm.
don't know why I did that because
I
I
feel that
personally,
might have genuinely done some damage to
yeah,
your opinion of the game because it does
no,
not
no,
feel
I
designed
agree.
at all.
I want to
Yeah.
go back and replay that or just her sections, honestly, in
Mm,
first person because there is something with modern Capcom games where we call it inertia, right?
mm,
Where there's an initial animation startup and then it takes a minute for the character to either pivot or to run, whatever, right? It
right.
feels awful in Resident Evil 9. And
Mm.
it's been when I went back to Resident Evil 2 recently, it didn't feel that way. And I wonder if it's just gotten progressively worse or if that was a specific design intention for 9, but it feels
Yeah.
terrible.
Okay. I mean, and so with, I mean, speaking, I guess going into the, um, what is it? The Leon sections. I really enjoyed I guess I just really enjoyed the Leon sections. I think the reason I did is because if the entire game was the Leon sections, maybe I'd like maybe have more of an issue with it. But I feel like I felt like I was being fed by the Grey sections. And then as you say, I mean, you mentioned it really did feel like a relief of tension. And I guess that's why you maybe wouldn't like it because you want to like have that constant dread, and the Leon sections are there almost to go, okay, you've had this tense situation. Let's just have some fun. Let's have some use this chainsaw and start like start just ripping through
Yeah.
people and doing kicks and throwing hatchets and stuff like that. For me, I quite appreciated that. I just quite liked it. I thought it was fun. And I mean, I think the Leon section gets a little bit divisive because of the Raccoon City section. And I mean, when I was playing it, I mean, I did the entire Raccoon City in one sitting, and I mean, for the most part, I really liked it, and I was actually surprised by. by people not liking it. But it does have a lot of like nostalgia, nostalgia bait, to be
Yeah,
honest. So yeah.
yeah. And I didn't hate it. I thought it was good. I guess it's just the running around in empty space that was really not great, but I didn't. I actually liked it
Mm.
too. I thought that was one of the better parts of Leon's sections.
Yeah, I
My
mean,
issue is more so when Leon is in an enclosed space. So
mm,
it's basically you're just mowing down a bunch of zombies, which, like I said, has its own appeal.
mm.
But it gets kind of boring after a while. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, I can kind of see where you're coming from there. I mean, I think the game kind of gives you that that like bracelet that kind of gives you points for killing enemies as
Which is
Leon.
a great idea, by the
Um
way.
yeah, I found that. I mean, yeah, I know. I mean, I just I think the thing is with Leon, it's I think it's quite fun to just go around killing waves of enemies with him. Um, I think the only thing is that the game almost like it gets to the point where it's weirdly paced because like it feels like you have these really short Leon sections. You're like, oh, I really want a long Leon section, and then the rest of the game is just Leon.
Yeah.
It's just like it's like okay, we'll give you a long section, and then you're like, okay,
Yeah.
when are we getting Grace again? And we get Grace again, and then it's like, oh no, no, it's Leon again.
Yeah,
It's
and
like, oh, okay,
I think about
yeah.
how maybe the game would have been better if it had just been short Leon sections and the
Mm.
whole game focused on Grace. In my opinion, I feel like it would have landed a bit better, at least with me.
I think the thing is they wanted to have like a cool final boss, but Grace isn't going to
Right.
take on that final boss.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
going to spoil it, um, but I don't think Grace would be able to. So, but then I guess that's kind of the Resident Evil thing. It's like you go from not being able to eventually being able. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, I didn't have as much of an issue with it as you, obviously. But I can kind of see where you're coming from then. With that, I mean, I really enjoyed the Grace sections, and I mean, I think just the novelty of playing as Leon, I kind of carried
Yeah.
a lot. But and also going to Raccoon City and the RPD, was especially since I played Resident Evil 2 a remake so recently, it just felt like felt like I did the necessary homework.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, it's like it was like when you study for something and it shows up in the exam. It's like, yes, let's go.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I don't know. It's one of those things where I can definitely see the appeal. I can see the intention behind it. I can see that they wanted to have two synthesizing parts.
Mm.
And for me, I think it would have been better if Leon was in it was shorter spurts because there's not really a lot of mechanical depth to it.
Right.
Maybe that's the point, right? But
Yeah.
for me, I like to replay games, and when games don't have a lot of mechanical depth to it, I'm not going to replay it. So that's
Right.
why I don't know. Nine, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, yeah, it was good, but I don't think I'm ever going to replay that again.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that's fair. I mean, I'm not like a replay game kind of person, to be honest, in general. I think there's only a few games that I've actually played more than once.
Yeah,
That's just because, especially now, I want to watch shows and want to watch movies. I want to play games. I don't have time to just sit down and replay a game sometimes. I'm just like, I have to. Yeah, I guess if I was only doing games, it would be easier to do. But I mean, technically, I replayed Resident Evil 2 because the remake was two different paths. I mean, that's one thing I will say. I heard the original has like more differences between the two different paths. I will say that was one thing that when I was playing Resident Evil 2, I was like. I was kind of expecting to see like a different perspective of the story, but it was just kind of the same story, but like almost like an alternate universe. It was like,
yeah,
oh, okay. I guess I don't know that was a little bit
yeah.
it wasn't that big of a deal because then I think towards like after the first third it does change, so it's like yeah, it's all right. But I was expecting it to be a different perspective for the same story.
Yeah.
Um,
And I think that the original, at least, that's kind of one of the parts that people overrate just a little bit. I mean, it's
mm,
cool, but it doesn't really.
it's a bit gimmicky, is it?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I would say so.
Yeah, I think people do make a big deal of it. It doesn't affect my opinion because I loved the game anyway, and I actually enjoyed the alternate paths. Um, and it makes sense with the real ending if you play both. Yeah, it's definitely I like overall I like the decision I think.
Yeah,
But so yeah, I mean, I'm going to I bought Resident Evil 1 remake and I bought Resident Evil 4 original, and I'm gonna play them. I'm not sure if I'll play them straight away, but I have them and I'll play them. I'm a bit nervous going into Resident Evil 1 remake because it's gonna be such a different experience
yeah.
from what I've used
And,
to.
yeah, and
Yeah.
that's the thing. It's just it's very different. I can understand the apprehension, but it's one of those things where you just if you give it a chance, if you
Yeah.
just approach it the right way, you'll get used to it. You'll enjoy it. I promise you will.
Yeah, no, I mean that's why I bought it. So I was like,
Yeah.
I'll enjoy. But yeah, I mean, you're just saying like sections that like you could, if you do the wrong thing, you like straight up have to like you just can't do anything. You're stuck into a corner. You literally cannot do anything.
It's more so that if you want to get out of that situation, you're gonna have a hard time doing it.
Right. Yeah, and that I mean it makes sense for a survival horror game. Though it does it makes sense for that. Um. So am I right when I keep on saying that Resident Evil 4 is your favorite? Is that your favorite Resident Evil?
Yeah, yes,
The original, yeah. Have you played the
yes.
remake?
I have played the remake.
And the thing is, a lot of people say that they're very different, and I haven't played the original yet. But considering how modern Resident Evil 4 is in comparison, they look very similar to me. Without going into spoilers, like you say that they're fundamentally different games. Like what's like the biggest like change? Is it just story stuff or is it like actually I mean obviously the I think it's made to be more kind of modern shooter
Yeah,
action, but is that it? Is there something else that I'm missing? So they look all intents and purposes they look quite similar, I think.
yeah, and from the just surface level perspective, yeah, they do, I guess, serve the same purpose. But with the remake, the biggest difference is being able to move and shoot because in the original you cannot move and shoot, and it was designed with that in mind. Enemies are
Hmm.
slower; they don't really, crowd you the way they do in the remake, which I understand having the enemies be more agile and we be more aggressive in the remake because you can move and shoot.
Hmm.
But I personally dislike the way that it affects. So there's a thing in the original where if you shoot them in the head, you know it's going to stagger them, right?
Right.
In the remake, it's much more obfuscated how that works. So if you shoot them in the head, they may stagger, they may not. Shoot them in the leg, they may stagger, they may not. I'm not a big fan of that. It complicates the combat in a way that I don't think was necessary.
Mm.
And I feel like enemies feel like way more spongy in a way,
Yeah.
which I guess makes sense because Leon is also more agile. But for me, it's not really. It becomes much more of a traditional shooter than what the original was, in my opinion.
Right.
It's much more modern, which I guess it's not a bad
Right.
thing, but
Yeah.
it's not necessarily what made the original great. Um,
Okay. That's
and
interesting.
the remake is still I still really liked it. I still thought it was good, and it improved on the in the original in some key ways, like being able to access your inventory in real time is a big improvement. But I
But
also
you
don't like
couldn't
it.
do that.
You had to pause every time if you wanted to change your gun or anything and wanted to heal or anything, so that was a big improvement.
Oh God.
Yeah, yeah. It's honestly
Yeah.
it's not that big of a
Yeah.
deal
Yeah.
once you get used to it, but I will say the real time inventory is like almost objectively an improvement.
Yeah.
um but I feel I guess my opinion on the remake is that it adds things for the sake of adding them.
Right. Okay. What's one thing that like you feel is just added for the sake of it though? I mean, what's like the biggest like example of that?
I the side quests for one. I don't see why a game like Resident Evil needs side quests, and I
Or like
don't.
there's targets and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and then the mini games, which the original Resident Evil 4 had,
Mm.
but it was a side thing that didn't impact the main game or main campaign in any way. In the remake, it does. I don't like
It
the
does.
I yes, I don't
I never
like
did any of them, to be honest.
yeah, you don't have to, but
Yeah.
it does, it provides like actual benefits to your weapons, which I don't like the idea of. I don't see why that was necessary. Um which again you don't have to do, but you're
Yeah.
kind of incentivized to if you want to get through the game a little easier, especially on harder difficulties, you're kind of forced to do it. But yeah, just those things primarily, I just wasn't really a big fan of. And I'm not the knife, I'm a little more, it's a little more complicated because I can see what they were going for and I can appreciate it. And
Mm.
it's definitely more because in the original, you can just, the knife really had no downsides to it. You can just use it however you want.
Yeah.
And the remake, you had to be more considerate. It's a limited item. It's you just had to think more about how you wanted to use it.
I think
But
that's quite funny compared to Resident Evil 7, which has an infinite knife.
yeah, which is
Yeah.
interesting, but it also introduces parrying, which
Mm.
I universally dislike in almost every game.
We live in a parry universe.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
A parry gaming world. I mean, even Donkey Kong has it.
Yeah, exactly. And I do think the way Resident Evil 4 remake implements it is interesting,
Mm.
but parrying is just it's a non-mechanic. It's just pressing the button at the right time and you can get out of any situation.
I mean, Resident
Um
Evil 3 is actually the worst situation of that. Like straight up, that
really.
I didn't even realize it literally has these dodges, these weird like time dodges that can literally dodge any attack, even if it doesn't make any
Yeah,
sense.
I've heard that. Yeah.
In the final boss, I'm just like going around doing the roll and avoiding every attack. It was just a bit if and then you have like a slow-mo roll and it just feels like I'm like am I playing Resident Evil right now? Or am I playing like
It sounds more
what am
like
I playing?
Bayonetta to me.
It sounds like it felt like Bayonetta. I'm like, bro, Jill, okay. Um, anyway, so I think if we can make this maybe a segue into because I think this is also kind of a Zelda topic as well recently. But one interesting thing I think with Resident Evil recently is the idea of is this gatekeeping of fandom based on what games you have played and what you haven't played. Um, and so that's if you've played like I don't know like one or the most popular one. In the Zelda's case, it's with Breath of the Wild. Basically, at the moment, there's this whole thing about if you play Breath of the Wild, but then you haven't maybe played. I think there was one fan that hadn't played Majora's Mask, but
Yeah.
and they were basically being mocked online because they hadn't. And
Yeah.
I just I think with gaming fan bases. I think there's a little bit too much gatekeeping, and I think there's some valid reasons for it. And I think the most valid reason is if you're watching the games and not playing them yourself. Essentially,
Yeah.
that's the only reason, in my opinion, that you could reasonably gatekeep someone out of a fandom.
Yeah. And I have a lot of opinions on this. So first of all, I think newer games, let's Resident Evil 9, for example, right?
Hmm.
It is the newest game. It's the most popular one. It's going to bring new people into the series. You can't expect everyone to have played every single game before Resident Evil 9.
Yeah,
That's fair. But I don't like this idea of, again, I'm only going to play this one and then I'm not going to touch the other ones, right?
right.
But
Yeah,
I also believe people will have value if people don't want to, if someone doesn't want to play anything, they don't have to, you know. I'm not necessarily someone who wants to force someone to play something if they don't want to, you know. But I
yeah,
also believe in that if you are truly interested in games as much as I am, then you owe it to yourself almost to go back and play those games that it's the reason why the newest one is out. If
Yeah,
someone has played Breath of the Wild and not gone back and played the other ones, I don't understand. A lot of the appeal for Breath of the Wild for me is the way it calls back to the other games and the way that it recontextualizes Zelda in an open world space.
yeah,
You don't really get that enjoyment if you don't go back and play those other games. And
yeah.
when it comes to watching games,
Mm.
I
It used to be the Persona fan thing. Now it's the Resident Evil fan thing.
yeah, and
I don't
I
know.
hate that with my entire soul. I don't think there's anything wrong with watching it just in isolation, but to act as
Yeah,
if you have
you're a
experienced it
fan.
on your yeah, it's
Yeah, I will say it's just like I'm not going to name any names. I'm not going to name any names, but there is certainly a person on the Twitter sphere that is a Nintendo fan quotation marks that has not played anything and sits here talking about things as if he has an
yeah,
opinion
and
on them. I'm
that's the
like,
that's the
no,
issue
you
is
don't.
yeah, that's the issue is people they want to talk more about games than actually play them. Like I don't understand this need to have an opinion on everything. And I actually talked to this. I forgot.
Mm,
Maybe it was with Tyke. Maybe it was with Ferris. I don't know. But I'm not gonna go around acting like a comic fan because I've watched someone else read the comic. You know,
yeah,
I'm not into comics. I've given them a try. I'm not into them. Why would I act like I'm a fan? I feel like people have a hard time accepting that with video games specifically. I don't get it. I don't
mm,
understand it. But when it comes to games, people feel like, oh, I can talk about it, but I don't have to play it. And it's like, no, people don't do that with other things. People don't do that with movies. People don't do that with books. But for some reason in games, it's very prevalent and I don't get it.
yeah. I mean, I guess it's because sometimes it's just like it's more interactive, I suppose. And so with a movie, you watch a movie, doesn't but with a game you play a game, and if maybe you don't want to engage with the gameplay mechanics, but you want to experience the story and characters. I mean, I think at that point, are you into games? But
Yeah, exactly.
but I mean, to be fair, it's like Fire Emblem Three Houses, a game I want to play, um, because I want to experience the story. But I can't. I don't. Every time I think about it, I'm like, I don't want to do three routes, and I don't have time to do that. And I didn't. I tried the gameplay, and it was just like, I don't. I mean, it was all right, but I don't know. But I'm like, I want to experience the story. I wouldn't sit down and watch. I feel like it would be such a waste of my time, to be honest, to sit
Yeah,
down and watch it.
exactly.
So I'm just choosing to abstain from it until I randomly
Yeah.
decide to play it. So
And that's one of
basically,
those
yeah,
situations where you just kind of have to accept that something isn't for you. And a lot of people
like
just,
Elden Ring, which is
yeah,
a recent example. I tried it again this year, and
really.
I did. I tried it. I actually did. I played a little bit of it, and I mean, honestly, I wasn't. My issue with the game isn't actually the difficulty or the combat. That's the weird thing. I overcame some enemies and it was really satisfying. I just don't like the open world. And I don't really like the general Western RPG like features. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It felt a bit aimless to me. I didn't know where I was supposed to be going, and I guess that's kind of the appeal of an open world game nowadays. Is like with Breath of the Wild, it's like you're aimlessly going and you make your own. The difference is the Breath of the Wild. It did feel like you knew where you were
Yeah.
supposed to
And
go.
I was going to say, I disagree with that. And in Breath of the Wild specifically, Breath of the Wild, I always thought because it is an open world, it can feel aimless, but I always felt like there's always a direction. It always feels intentional in what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean,
If you're,
I don't think it's aimless. What I mean is like in that I think that's where Elden Ring took its inspiration from almost. I
yeah,
feel yeah.
yeah, and Elden Ring, and this applies to the broader open world games in general, but the aimlessness is kind of the point. I even Tears of the Kingdom, I will say, the aimlessness is kind of the point, and it's just
Mm,
the goal is to make your own fun, do what you find is fun. There's an appeal to that.
Yeah.
But for me, I personally like more intentional game design, you know?
Yeah. No,
Um,
I agree. Um, I mean, Breath of the Wild does feel intentional to me. I think, I mean, we're not going to get into a Tears of the Kingdom. We can wait until someone else gets on to do a Tears of the Kingdom discussion. We'll be here for another hour. I mean, I say this, but I haven't even. That's a game I haven't even finished. I couldn't get into it, but
yeah.
I don't want to get into that now. That's a foreshadowing for a future episode. But yeah, I'm not insulting Elden Ring. Like I think it's probably worthy of the praise that it gets. It's just I've tried it many times, and I think the first time I dropped it, I assumed it was because it was too hard for me. And I think a lot of people made fun of me because I dropped it because of that. Um, I guess I was like, oh no, I'm gonna go back and prove them that it's not too hard for me. And then I realized I was like, I think the game's just not for me. I think that's just. But then at the
Yeah.
same time, I'm like, maybe I would like Bloodborne. Maybe I would like Dark Souls because maybe the more linear approach to that same thing. Maybe
Hmm.
I'll prefer that. I don't know. I mean, I'd be interested to try them, but
Yeah.
and then maybe once I have, maybe I'll understand because Elden Ring probably adapts certain things from those games in an open world setting. Maybe if I had those games context, maybe I would understand more what the aim is. I don't. I mean, I don't know. It's just. I mean, I'm saying this if I'm gonna try Elden Ring again one time, but I mean, maybe I will. Who knows? I like to be open to. I don't like to say I will
Yeah.
never play it. Obviously. I don't know. There's a lot of games I want to play though, so it's
Yeah, but the,
endless
the
fountain.
difference is that you don't watch Elden Ring, you know. You didn't decide, oh, this isn't for me, so I'm gonna watch a
Watch
playthrough of it.
Elden Ring.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably will watch the movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing is I'm probably gonna watch that movie, and the only reason is, I mean, I don't know. I had that dilemma with The Last of Us because I was like, I haven't watched the show, and now I don't even want to watch it because I've heard that season two is bad. But I was like, I don't know if I want to watch this before I play the game. And like, it's just a retelling of the same thing. I'd rather experience it as the game. With Elden Ring, the movie, um, I'm just very curious about how that's going to turn out because it's just like it's Alex Garland, it's A24. I'm like, this is very intriguing. So I'll probably watch that, and I'll probably be
Yeah.
my main exposure to the Elden Ring story. So, that's an intro. That's another. As we get more movies, based on video games, that's gonna be a new discussion about watching games,
Yeah.
watching the movie first.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think this is a good like segue to the current news section. We have like, and actually they're all Nintendo based, I think, because we have like obviously we have some Xbox news, but I don't really think we have much to say about it.
No,
Because
not
we're just
really.
not really into Xbox. I mean, no offense to the Xbox fans out there. We know.
What's funny is that I really used to be into Xbox, but basically since COVID, I've stopped caring. And then we're not gonna get into the political stuff right now, but the stuff they're doing is just I can't support that. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't have anything to say on them to be honest. But
Yeah,
so
yeah.
if you take aside that, what else is there? I mean, Elden Ring shooting is interesting. The Zelda movie wrapping. I don't know. I think the main things are Nintendo news. Uh, or maybe lack thereof Nintendo news for one of them. We'll talk about maybe these because these were start of at the end of March. Were actually these are the leaks at the end of March, where Nate the Hate, which is a pretty I think a reputable. I mean, I know a reputable leaker. I suppose I just he gets information and he would just kind of mention it. He tends to be he tends to be confident about the information that he knows for sure. Doesn't really like to talk too much about stuff that he isn't confident on, which is why you can kind of trust him when he says it. Anyway, he basically revealed what. Nintendo's lineup is for the rest of the summer
Yeah.
at least. The main things there was Star Fox, off of the Mario movie, um, a new Star Fox game to kick off the summer in June to be revealed in April. Now, I'm not sure when this episode is actually going to be airing for you listening. You know, by the time you listen to this, this actually might be outdated. I've just realized because we are currently recording this on the 26th of April, and and there's only 2 more days really that this can be revealed because it's Golden Week starting Wednesday, in Japan. So that they're not going to reveal anything between that in that week because
Yeah.
they're not open. So literally, it's like Monday or tomorrow or Tuesday, and then all bust essentially. Um, Now, I think we're having a conversation about this, and even if it doesn't get revealed this month, I don't think that means it's fake. Because especially Nintendo, I don't think um I don't think it's past them to change their mind on the way they're going to market something, or maybe change their mind on when they're going to release something. What if they chose to delay this game until July, till like August? I don't think they would, but I don't think they're going to be honest. That's my personal. I expect it to be revealed next week, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. But anyway, I can go on a tangent here. So Star Fox, which I think will be revealed by the time you're listening to this. If not, it'd be really funny to be honest. So, and then the next major thing was Ocarina of Time, remake, and that kind of feeds into our our previous two discussions quite well.
Yeah.
Uh, so, first, let's talk about staff. I mean, there was also other stuff. I mean, he confirms Splatoon Raiders and Rhythm Heaven were going to be summer. Those are now been proven true, although I will say I wouldn't give Nate that much credit for that. I mean, I know he's reliable, so yes, but also those are pretty obvious. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, they were
Yeah.
obviously going to be summer. Like, I mean, yeah. So I give him credit because I know he's reputable personally, but I wouldn't say, oh, that proves the other stuff. The only reason it proves the other stuff is because I trust him. Anyway, so we'll start with start, and I think it's Switch Sports as well. Those other things, Dust Bloods this year, which I think we have a running bet on. So
Oh yeah.
so
Yeah. We'll see about that one.
your days are numbered there. But what do you think about? And so this Star Fox game um is going to be a classic style, um, looks very good visually, and has a multiplayer. That's basically what we know about it. That's what he's mentioned about it. So what are you? I mean, have you played too much Star Fox? Have you played 64? Have you played the rest of the series?
I have played a little bit of the, is it the SNES one? I've played that one, and I played
Right.
64, and then I
Hmm.
played the 3DS remake.
Right.
I've dabbled in the other games, but those are the only ones. Oh, I played Zero as well, but it's been too
Mm.
long
So
since I played that one.
you basically played the same game
Yeah,
all
yeah,
times.
over and over
To be
again.
honest, so,
Um,
because they're all the same. I mean, I haven't played them though. So, but it's so funny how many times they've remade the exact same game.
yeah, and
In yeah,
I think the reputation for Star Fox is funny because I have a lot of reverence for it. I think it's dearly missed within, especially like just the modern gaming landscape. We could
yeah.
definitely use a new Star Fox game. I am a bit worried because,
Mm,
as you know, modern Nintendo, I'm not the biggest fan of the direction they're going in or have been in for a while.
yeah.
But if it is if it's no bullshit, just classic style
That's
Star
what it sounds
Fox,
like though. That is what it sounds like. I mean, and
I would be a huge fan, honestly.
yeah. So, uh, you know, I when I first heard that it was like, oh, it's a classic style and it's multiplayer. I was like, is this what Star Fox needs? Because I feel like Star Fox Zero's issue might have been that it was just too kind of samey. Is this going to be the same thing? But I think there are ways that you can make a new Star Fox. I think Star Fox Assault, I haven't played it, but that seems like kind of the answer there. It's a classic style. game,
Hmm.
but it has like things in it that progress the story or like different gameplay mechanics.
Yeah.
I have an ink. I feel like because of the way this is potentially being revealed, that this might be um like not that ambitious, not that like I guess not that huge, but I feel like it's probably going to be. I feel like it's probably going to be a pretty an average sized game, like a mid tier kind of Nintendo scale game.
Hmm.
But I mean, as you're saying, you that's what kind of what you want, right? So uh, yeah, I mean, what do you think Star Fox needs to be, I guess, to stay relevant without having to go like ambitious open world, which some people will say that it needs to. But I don't think it needs to. But some people are like, oh, you need to go to different planets, and I'm like, that's just No Man's Sky. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, well, what do you think then? What do you think that this Star Fox game needs to be if it is real and it does exist? And before funny again, this is a funny conversation that we will know the answer to by the time
Yeah.
this comes out. So we'll see what you think. We'll see what you got right.
Yeah. So I think the multiplayer could be a good answer to that, but I don't know. Star Fox has a very limited appeal. I feel like um just in the sense that
I mean, it's
it's
furry
very,
bait.
yeah, yeah, exactly. But no, it's very arcadey. It's very the games are not long at all. Like I think 64 takes maybe an hour to beat if you're good at it.
It does. It
Um,
actually does. It took me an hour,
yeah.
which I was sat there. I played it. I finished it in the same time. I was like, "Ooh, okay, that really is
Yeah.
short."
But to get the most out of the games, you have to replay them. You just
Yeah.
have to. And I feel like leaning into that, offering different routes, different just very variety, right?
Yeah.
Just different possibilities. I feel like maybe leaning into that could appeal to more people, but I feel like because, like you said, it's furry bait, but it's
Mm.
also just it doesn't really
It's the
have
hot
a
topic at
large
the moment,
appeal.
though.
Yeah,
I feel like it could though. I feel like it could have a larger appeal. The thing is, it's like I feel like with Zelda, it some people think that Nintendo games can just have a Breath of the Wild moment, but there's actually not been a series that's really had a Breath of the Wild moment since Breath of the
yeah,
Wild. So I don't. I think people need to realize that maybe the reason that Breath of the Wild had a Breath of the Wild moment was because it was Breath of the Wild. But
yeah, exactly.
but with Star Fox, I'd be interested to see kind of where they go with that. So yeah, I mean that. So Star Fox. Hopefully that is June. Hopefully the people listening that hope you enjoyed and think it looks cool. How does it look from the future? Let me know.
Yeah.
But if it exists, do you think? Do you believe it's going to be revealed on Tuesday?
I would like to. You know me, I don't really believe leakers as we
Mm,
say. I
yeah.
don't believe it personally, but I it would be awesome. I'd like it.
Yeah. I mean, I think Nate has like gained enough of a trust just based on um the because the thing is with Nate is that he literally like said the exact date that Switch 2 was going to be revealed and the contents of the trailer. So like after that, I'm just like I have to trust him after everything he says. I mean, um,
Fair enough, yeah.
obviously with a grain of salt. Again, I say stuff can change, but I think the reason it does make sense to still, I mean, it sounds like a cope to be this late in the month and say, oh, it's still happening, but the Mario movie actually came out in Japan only this weekend. So like, if you think about it, then they're like, okay, we'll wait to release the Mario movie. We have Star Fox in there, and then after it's come out in Japan, literally the day before they go on holiday, they're like, okay, here's what
That
you
does
here's
make a lot of
how you
sense, yeah.
can play Star Fox. So that's why it's made sense. Also, Star Fox 64 anniversary is tomorrow, apparently. So
Wow. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense then.
So I'm just like it sounds like a cope. But I think it does make, if it doesn't happen, I'm gonna be like, it made a bit too much sense to be this week. So
Yeah.
anyway, I don't want to harp too much on that because we will know. We will know. By the time this is uploaded, we will probably know. So anyway, Ocarina of Time remake. Um that fits nicely into our previous conversations. So I mean, what you I mean, I think the idea's been floated around for a long time. I mean, I've been floating the idea for a long time as well in the chat. I've been the idea of it because it's basically the best way of doing a big Zelda game that isn't the next big Zelda game, because that's not ready and that won't be ready for like ages.
Yeah.
So for me personally, this is like best case scenario because it's like you need a big Zelda game, but they can't release the next new 3D Zelda this
Hmm.
year, and they won't release it next year. It probably won't even come out until like 2029 at the earliest. So
Yeah.
I think, but then it goes to the question of also who's making it. So what do you think of Ocarina of Time remake in concept, I guess, in theory?
It's hard because Ocarina of Time it has such a high pedigree, and it's such a people see it as generic. It's one of the more fundamentally sound games in the Zelda series,
Mm,
which is the reason it has the pedigree it does. So as far as a remake goes, I'm not too sure if they stick closely to the script. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. But
yeah.
I wonder if they are going to add or change anything, and that's what scares me.
Mm,
I really, for the best case scenario for me would honestly just be the 3DS remake, just upscaled.
yeah.
But if we're going to
That
see new character designs or just a new
yeah.
art style, whatever, that's what
Yeah.
scares me, honestly.
I think it's so interesting with Ocarina of Time remake is that I feel like it's like should it be one to one or should it be completely different? I my personal answer is I think it should be middle ground to be honest, but
Yeah,
I don't think
yeah,
it should be one to one because we've had a one to one. I mean, the thing is with a 3DS remake is that it is technically a remake, but it's also on the 3DS, so it's like
yeah.
it's kind of a not a demake, it's like a on par make that thing.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like on a similar level, but I guess it does look nicer to be fair. It has a it's basically just this it's the same visual fidelity, but then maybe not even, but it's just rounder, I guess. It's the model's
yeah.
nice. Um, I think I don't think it's gonna be Final Fantasy VII remake. I think we've kind of like
I
thrown
sure
around
hope
that
not.
as a thing of it's not going to be like that different. I don't think, but. I think there's been some recent job listings with Monolith Soft. Some people think
Interesting.
that maybe Monolith Soft are making the Ocarina of Time remake, or like that they have a support team that helped with Breath of the Wild. So the idea is that the support team that helped Breath of the Wild basically took over and made um, Ocarina of Time remake with a group of people from the Zelda team, but not all of the Zelda, like just a small group, so that they could focus on the main line. So it basically be kind of like the main team, but mixed with Monolith Soft more. Um, I don't know what the infrastructure is though with that support team at Monolith because obviously they're not the main ones that do like
Yeah.
Xenoblade and stuff like that. So I'm not sure how much they actually have, but I don't know. I mean, they are still Monolith Soft, right? So I think that maybe they would have it in them. I don't know. I mean, I would obviously be interested in. Although, I mean, if I had to choose between that or like a new Xenoblade or a new IP from them, I would obviously choose that. But I feel like either way, I don't think the remake would be the main thing that Monolith Soft have been doing for the last few years. So I think it'd be a win-win scenario in my opinion.
Yeah, and that's interesting because Monolith Soft, I can't imagine them being on the Zelda remake. Just me personally, I can't see that. I don't know if that's been confirmed somewhere. Has that been a rumor going around or
Yeah, so they've got a Zelda support team. So
right?
I think they've been hiring for it recently. So I think
Okay.
it's yeah, I think I
So
forget what it was
do you
specifically.
think they would be working on the actual game or just like designing the world in the same way they did with Breath of the Wild?
Well, my idea would be that they're actually working on it with a small group from Zelda team.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
A bit like and the thing is, the only reason I know this is I watched that Nintendo Forecast YouTuber because sometimes it's
Oh.
just like as it's nice background noise, but it's actually really interesting sometimes. But I think Bowser's Fury was a mix of like a support. I mean, not really a support group, but they make like small scale games, and then the 3D Mario team, small part of them mixed together.
Hmm.
Um, I think it's NST that also made the F-Zero 99 and also made the remake of Mario vs Donkey Kong. So that they actually made Bowser's Fury with a small part of the 3D Mario team.
Interesting.
So
Okay.
sometimes they just use support, or they'll promote support groups. I don't know. I feel like Nintendo sometimes do that because Grezzo can't be making it. I just I don't see Grezzo making it. I mean, it makes sense where they would, but I don't think that when would they have made it? And are they going to go third party with a Zelda remake? I don't think so. I don't think they're going to do a
Hmm.
third party Zelda remake. It's going to have to be in house, and the Zelda team aren't going to make it themselves because they have to be working on the new Zelda game. So it's one of those things where you're like, and also I think some people are saying Tantalus, which did like remasters of like Skyward Sword. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I'm
No,
not getting
I don't
them.
see
I'm
that.
not, unless it is the 3DS game. Then yes, it will be the Tantalus if it's the three. Anyway, obviously, I'm talking about a bunch of names of companies that like nobody really cares about. But I just think it's
Yeah.
interesting. I'm like, the idea of this game existing it's like been a thing for so long, but now I'm just
Hmm.
like, who's making it? So I think Monolith
That's
Soft
what I'm
actually
interested
makes the
in is
most sense.
who is on it. And that I think that's what really matters is who is
Yeah,
on it. Before we even see anything, I feel like we need to know who was developing this game. And
and you
to
know,
me,
yeah,
it would make a lot of sense if Grezzo was on it because they are closely tied to Zelda. They
yeah,
recently made Echoes of Wisdom. So it'd make a lot
yeah.
of sense, but I'm not sure.
You know, the funny thing though is we're not going to know. Like we're
Yeah.
not. Oh, actually, to be fair, we probably will because Monolith Soft are like one of the only companies that just get like a little watermark before their games. They
Yeah,
get the
true.
respect, you know.
True.
They get the respect to at least have their name attached to the games they're working on. So yeah, I mean that's another thing. I mean, even with Star Fox, I mean, who's working on Star Fox? I mean, I've had a running theory that Next Level Games would be working on
I
Star
agree. I
Fox.
was just gonna say I
Yeah,
would very much like that actually.
yeah, I think it would work, but then. I think I was like almost scaling back on that because I was like I was expecting maybe the Star Fox game for them to be making, but then I say that as if they haven't made smaller scale games. I mean they made Mario Strikers, which I mean the new one wasn't, but I haven't played it, but like I heard that wasn't very good. So
Yeah.
so they can make smaller scale games. I was just thinking like oh they're making Luigi Mansion 4, but I don't know. I mean, if Star Fox is a smaller game, maybe they've been working on both. I don't know. But or maybe they're not wait. I don't know. They could just not be releasing Luigi Mansion 4 like this year or next year. Maybe they might be
Yeah.
waiting. So anyway, that's not important. But yeah, I think it's really interesting with so imagine sometimes I think the issue is sometimes Nintendo have a lot of like series that they don't have developers for. They just don't have a team for. Like Donkey Kong literally didn't have a team for 10 years. Literally 10 years without a game because they didn't know what to do with him because they didn't have a specific team because Retro were busy on Metroid. So, or they weren't even, they were busy on the new IP that got scrapped and then they were busy on Metroid. So they had to make a Donkey Kong team essentially, and
Yeah.
like split their Mario team to do it. So, if they care enough about a series, sometimes like Star Fox, I feel like I could see them actually genuinely splitting off one of their main teams for Star Fox if they care that much to revitalize it. Um, so I think it's quite interesting. Like as we get more revivals of certain series, like who's gonna work if they make another Wario Land game? who's going to work on that? Like who's making that? Um, that's something that I've been thinking about a lot
Yeah.
because I've been really wanting a new Mario Band game.
Wouldn't it be the main 2D Mario team, don't you think?
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Right, so here's my thing. That makes so much sense, and I feel like that's like what I was thinking as well. But then I'm just thinking about it this way. Are they going to get the 2D Mario game, 2D Mario developers on Donkey Kong Country?
Hmm.
Because then if they do, then are they not gonna get or is a 2D Mario team good? But then they also they do Pikmin as well. So that's and they do Mario Maker. So I feel like Donkey Kong might might be them as well. So then who would make Wario then? Yeah, that's one of the things where it's just like they have so many series that they could be making, but then they have to kind of outsource them. I mean,
Hmm.
I was saying Mercury's team because it sounds ridiculous, but because Wario Land 3 is basically like a level-based Metroidvania. So and also
Yeah.
I think that some Metroid developers actually have some crossover um with Wario Land. That's not a joke. I think they have similar game designers. So
Yeah.
with the I think it was made by the same like group when Metroid used to be made by like a different group. I forget what the
Interesting.
group.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that at
they were
all.
under the same kind of group at that time.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Anyway, I'm going on like a really random tangent about like Nintendo's inner workings. I'm getting my Nintendo autism certificate. Um, but I mean, Ocarina of Time remake. I mean, I'm interested to see it. I think, uh, yeah, I feel it has to be big scale. I saw some people saying it could be a 3DS upscale, but I'm like, it's not. It's clearly positioned, especially in that Nate video, as their holiday game. So, you know, we're not. It'd be depressing if their big holiday game was a 3DS upscale.
I mean, knowing Nintendo recently, I wouldn't
Yeah,
be
yeah.
surprised.
Nintendo's
But
been kind of weird lately. I think with like
yeah,
why didn't they? I mean, look, I mean, I'm glad they released Donkey Kong Bonanza in July, but why didn't they just like release it in like the holiday? Like, why didn't they just release it in the holiday of 2025?
I can see why they didn't, but I also think it was a huge mistake, honestly. It just
Yeah, because that
in
would have been
hindsight,
like, oh my God, it's the big holiday game. But I mean, I think where its position is actually better for the Switch because it's like, oh damn, we got one big game and we've got another big game. But then I
yeah.
guess it's kind of because then there was not really, I guess Kirby Air Riders was it? Or I mean, it was Legends. It was a mix of Legends EA and Kirby Air Riders and Metroid Prime 4. But I think we don't talk about Metroid Prime 4. I didn't even dislike it. I just never finished it. I do need to get back to that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't understand why they didn't release Donkey Kong
Yeah, and
in the
because of
holiday.
that, I can personally see them just upscaling the 3DS remake and having it as their holiday game. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
it's
know.
Ocarina of Time. It's gonna sell.
I don't think that. But I look. I mean, I get. I just don't think they do that. Like, even in like the end of the Switch two, end of the Switch one, they still had holiday games that were actually new games. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I do, I. It's like cynical to the next level almost, isn't it? A little bit. It's like, yeah, okay. I It would be really depressing. Um, if that was their only holiday game
Yeah.
was an Ocarina of Time 3D upscale,
So
that would be
what do
absolutely
you
horrifying.
expect? What do you expect from it then?
To be honest, I expect it to be so I do expect it to be like more than just a one-to-one, but I expect it to be like a little bit closer to a one-to-one than a reimagining. But there's like I think when Jackson, I mean, we're talking about a lot of names that but some people listening might not even know. But when Jackson mentions the remakes that are like overhauled remake, like these like Final Fantasy VII remake, and then also mentions Resident Evil 4, and you were saying that Resident Evil 4 is very different, but I feel like Ocarina of Time remake will be like Resident Evil 4 remake, but not like Final Fantasy VII remake, because I feel like Resident Evil 4 changes. Well, based on what you said, it changes the gameplay loop based on what it updates to be more
Hmm.
modern. I think that's what's going to happen here. There's going to be like something that there's going to be some gameplay changes to adapt to maybe the modern Zelda series, but not enough that it's like, oh, you can make your own fun because I don't think they're going to go that extreme.
Yeah.
And so I think it will be like Resident Evil 4 remake. That's just a random thing to say. Yeah, it's gonna be like you can now actually like run and shoot at the same time
Yeah.
in Ocarina of Time. So uh, no, but what I mean is that I think it will be like that kind of level of overhaul. Like it will be a fundamentally different game. But it
Yeah.
will stick to the script
So what
essentially.
do you think of the idea? It's a bit of a meme in our server, but
Yeah.
it is a serious thing that people want
Yeah.
of it having Souls-like combat.
Yeah, so I mean I don't know. I mean, I think I haven't played enough Souls games to really have an opinion on that. Obviously, the one Souls game I have played, I didn't like that much. So, but no, I mean, the combat was all right. So, I mean, I wouldn't. It just depends on how it's executed, I suppose. I mean, for me personally, um, I don't know. I mean, I think it would be actually quite interesting though. I think imagine, yeah, because like having a Souls like Zelda game would be so interesting. Um, that it'd just be like you sat there going like, I can't believe they've done this. They've just made a Souls-like combat Zelda game. Like you have to like stand in awe. And it'd basically be like baby's first Souls-like games. Maybe I would like that then.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's
And
like an intro to FromSoft,
yeah,
just
and
to get
what's
them ready for
interesting,
Duskbloods.
yeah, honestly. But what's
Yeah.
interesting is that Dark Souls and Demon
Mm.
Souls, that just the first games that FromSoft made in that style is actually an evolution of the Zelda combat. So I can see it honestly. Like I know it's a meme, but
Yeah.
I can see
I think it
some.
will. It'll have
Yeah,
like
I
some
think it
inspiration
will.
from
I
it.
think it'll
Yeah.
definitely be in more in line with Souls combat. I don't mind that
Yeah.
personally.
Oh, I don't mind that because I mean, I think a Zelda Souls is inevitable anyway. That's my opinion, especially after Dusk. I mean, I expected Duskbloods to basically be a Zelda Souls like.
Ah,
No, sorry. By that I don't mean that I thought that game was gonna be. What I mean is that before the Switch 2 reveal, I really had this like inkling, and I was like, "There's gonna be an exclusive FromSoft game for Nintendo Switch 2, and it's gonna be like." But my opinion was it's gonna be using the Zelda brand to be like this big Zelda game. Turns out they just made a new IP.
yeah.
So I kind of half called it there. Um, I don't know if they will make one now though, because of that they've kind of put their chip in for their exclusive Nintendo. I mean, look, that's not
I mean,
necessarily
it's
true. I
always
mean, they can
possible.
still do it, but
Yeah.
if the Ocarina of Time remake from Software, they're making the Ocarina of Time remake. No, it's like Duskblood's actually just a front. It's like
Yeah.
Duskblood was never real. Here's the Ocarina of Time remake. You would win that bet in that situation, wouldn't you? Oh dear.
I wouldn't. I
Uh,
would lose that bet badly.
Oh, I guess because it does the Dust Bloods in quotation mark would then
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
release that year. So yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. I was still in that bet. Um, no, I mean, but I do kind of I can see what you mean though. I haven't played Ocarina of Time, so
Really?
no, I want to though. I mean, obviously I have the Nintendo Switch Online, so I have no excuse. I will probably play. I also want to play Majora's Mask as well, so I'll probably play both of them, the originals. But what on the gameplay I've seen, I can see what you mean. Like the combat seems quite slow and methodical, but I'm not
Yeah.
sure too much about that. But it does seem kind of more like you're striking and then you're moving a little bit. You're holding up your shield and stuff like that. So yeah, honestly, I think it's a bit of a joke in our chat, but like it actually might be true. It actually
Yeah, I can
might be
see it
true.
happening.
It's not going to be like actually a Souls-like game or like actually that hard probably, but
Yeah.
there'll probably be a lot of parrying. There'll be
Man, I
parrying.
hope not.
That's the big addition. There you go. It's like Resident Evil 4 remake.
There you go.
Parrying and side quests. I think there already were. So I don't. I
There's
mean,
already side quests,
yeah,
which is
yeah,
actually one of the better parts of the original Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask.
yeah.
So if that's an addition,
I mean, I heard Majora's Mask. I mean, okay. If it, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
no, yeah, go ahead.
Well, I mean, Majora's Mask sounds so interesting to me because of the side quests. Um, if they're doing a remake of Ocarina of Time, do you think they're going to do a Majora's Mask remake as well?
No, no. There has been it's been documented that Aonuma does not like Majora's Mask. He does not like to be reminded of it. Um,
He doesn't
and
like
I
it.
no, he doesn't. It was created under very strenuous circumstances, and I just don't think he likes being reminded of that, which is fair. But it's also treated very weirdly within the Nintendo hierarchy. I feel like it's not really acknowledged by them a lot. So I can't see that
I feel
happening.
like
I also
it's so dark looking. I guess
yeah,
that might be why.
yeah,
But
it's very un-Nintendo like, which is why it's good, but it's just
mm.
I don't see it.
They did the 3D, they did 3DS version for it though. They did
Yeah,
do that.
there is, and a lot of people didn't like it. I don't really like it either, but
I
I
mean,
just
I can't even imagine what, because the Ocarina of Time one's like praised. So I'm like,
yeah,
what's different? Like, what's the difference? Right, well, it's a different game, obviously.
yeah,
It's a different game, so that's the difference, I guess. But I don't know. I mean, I do want to. I want to play both of those games, and I will play both of those games, at some point. But that's just my endless mountain of games I want to play. So, um, I think we should segue to the other Nintendo news that we got, last Tuesday. Was it? Yeah, it was last. I think it was last Tuesday that we got a Splatoon Raiders re-reveal essentially because it was revealed obviously for the Splatoon anniversary. I think the original game's 10th anniversary. I think it was revealed for. Um, and it was just like a Splatoon spin-off, and it was just Splatoon Raiders, and it was a little bit of gameplay, no context of the actual like gameplay loop, but you can I think you could infer based on
yeah.
like the aesthetic, based on the name kind of what game it would be. Um, so we've seen the trailer for it finally. The box art release date, July 21st, is it? I don't know. It's July 23rd or 21st.
It's in July.
It's the yeah, it's in July, and it looks like I think a lot of people are saying it looks like a like an entire game that's like focused on being like Salmon Run and Side Order, but obviously expanded within the context of an overarching world. I I think it looks. I think I'm interested to. I'm interested in it because I've been. I feel like I call myself a Splatoon fan. I feel like I remember the original game. I never got a Wii U, so I speaking of the watching game discourse, I wa I watched that game. That's a bit different though, to be fair. It's an online game. It's a that watching that is a little bit different, but obviously you can't call yourself a fan. But it's a bit different when you're watching that. But um. I mean, that being said, I literally watched most Wii U games actually, so I take that back. I watched most people play those. I'm a fraud, but
Wow.
I sat there watching Yoshi's Woolly World. Anyway, Captain Toad. I was addicted. All right, I literally was though. I was watching people watch play Captain Toad because I didn't have a Wii U. I was so depressed that I didn't have a Wii U at the time. But back to the topic of what we talking about, Splatoon. There you go. I really wanted that to happen. I was like, can we get a 3DS version? Because I had a 3DS. That would have been crazy. Could you imagine a Splatoon 3DS
Yeah,
version?
dude.
Would that even work? I don't think it would.
I
It'd be like a pixelated. It'd be so pixelated. It'd be weird. Um, Splatoon 2, obviously, that came out with the Switch. So I got that. I got really addicted to it. I put like 100 hours into it. Um, I was like playing it all summer, and then I just kind of stopped playing it. To be honest, I just stopped playing it. I just that's the thing with me. I get really into a game and I just stop playing it. So, um, so now, when Splatoon 3 came out, I was like, it's a bit soon, isn't it? Oh no, it's a bit soon. I mean, it looks the same as Splatoon 2. I don't know. I mean, I have Splatoon 2 already, and maybe I don't need to get it. I randomly decided to get it on a whim, like 2 years later because I was like, well, I mean, the Switch has 1 year left. I think I said that in like, yeah, no, it did have about a year left when I got it. Um, a year and a half left, I'd say. So I was like, okay, I'll get it. It's fine, I'll get it. Um, I got really addicted to it again. But I got like deep into it. Like I got really into the ranked as well. Um, I got like I was like going up the ranks and stuff like that. I had like my main weapon. I was getting really into it. Um, and I think the only thing that pissed me off was was that I got up to a good rank, Well, not a good rank, but a better rank than I expected myself to ever be able to get in a game. And then the season changed and I went down and I was like,
Yeah.
oh no. I couldn't get back. I actually couldn't get back. And
Oh
I was like,
damn.
oh man, I don't know. Maybe I don't want to worry about rank. I mean, it was ruining my experience. I was getting pissed off at players. I was like, no,
Yeah.
that's not what you're supposed to do. They were trying to kill other people. I'm like, no, no, that's not the goal of this game. You're trying to get the Rainmaker. Like, come on, just get the Rainmaker. Don't like you got the Rainmaker. Don't kill people with it. Go and put it on the thing. Anyway. Um, Anyway, I haven't played it for a little bit, but but to be fair, I stopped playing because I was like Splatoon 4 is going to be soon. But now I realize that Splatoon 4 is probably not going to be for a little bit, so I could probably get back into Splatoon 3. But anyway, Splatoon Raiders spin-off of a single player spin-off. What do you think of the trailer? Because I mean, for me personally, I do think it looks fun. I didn't play that much Salmon Run. Also, I didn't own. I don't think I actually own Side Order, so I never played Side Order. But I mean, Splatoon Salmon Run was pretty fun. So that being kind of expanded is interesting to me.
Yeah, the trailer was good. A little bit confusing. I'm kind of confused on what the aim is, but it was a good trailer, and I think Splatoon. I'm a big Splatoon fan. I've played one. I actually played one a lot before the servers went down on the Wii U.
Mm,
Um, I honestly two I got into, but I didn't like as much as one. Three is probably my favorite.
yeah.
And people say it was funny because people say, "Oh, it's a little bit soon for a Splatoon, another Splatoon game." Splatoon 2 came out in 2017. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
3 came out in 2022. I
Yeah.
that's
It,
a
the concept of time when it comes to the Switch
yeah.
is completely out of the window. Like,
Yeah.
how is Smash Ultimate almost 10 years old? Like, what,
Jesus,
what
yeah,
the hell?
dude.
Oh
But
no.
I'm looking forward to Raiders because I think Splatoon in a mechanical sense is very underrated. It's one of the only online games I can think of, at least when it comes to Nintendo games, that relies on pure skill and not like luck in the way Mario Kart or whatever relies on, you know?
Yeah.
Um, so seeing that and just being uprooted to a single player game, a single player focus, I
Right.
think is going to be interesting. Like I said, I'm not really sure what the aim is, but I have full faith in the Splatoon team. I think it's going to be great. Hopefully, fingers
Yeah.
crossed.
Yeah.
Um, I think it looks good.
Yeah, I think the idea is that you're going it's like salmon run, but you're going back and you're crafting stuff and that there's mention of dungeons. Like I saw there was a map and it had like a
Dungeons,
yeah, there was
okay.
a mention of dungeons. So I feel like maybe there's like maybe the dungeons have like those like kind of platformy Splatoon single player stuff in them. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
um they didn't show it, but
yeah,
I'm actually really I'm interested. We don't know much about it, despite the fact we saw so much of it now, I guess. I mean, but I like that personally. I mean, you don't want everything to be revealed from
yeah,
the start.
exactly.
And I think one of the interesting thing with Splatoon Raiders is that actually it's $50 digital and $60 physical. So $50, which is like I mean, what $80 was Mario Kart World, so anybody and
Yeah,
everyone was like, "Oh no, all the Nintendo games are going to be $80, and now we have a $50 Splatoon game." Um, you know what? When I saw that, I was like, "I got it. The new Star Fox game is definitely going to be $50 as well." I don't know. I just so this variable pricing is actually a thing. People made fun of it, but like it actually is a thing.
yeah.
Um, but it's interesting how they like define what games are cheaper and what games get full
I
price. Like
really do not get the logic behind it, honestly.
Bonanza was $70. Um, so I mean that makes sense now in hindsight. If they because if I guess I mean was Kirby Air Riders 70 as well?
I believe it was, yes.
Okay, so what about Splatoon Raiders is like lesser than Kirby Air Riders.
Yeah, and that's what confuses me.
It's
I
Sakura
really don't get
Riders. Yeah.
the I
I
really
just
don't get the logic behind it. And then
yeah.
I feel like they're trying to wean off people buying games physically, which
Yeah.
I'm a physical person, so I'm going to get it physically, but it does kind of upset me that it's cheaper online,
Yeah, I
you
mean
know?
that's the thing for me though. I've kind of been leaning in that direction, like unintentionally. Like I got Tomodachi Life digitally. I got Pocopia digitally. I get most PS5 games digitally now. I don't
Really?
even intend to. I sometimes it's just easy. Like I go on my app and just download it. Then I'm just like, oh no. Usually the PlayStation Store has really good deals a lot of the time. That's what I find.
Yeah. Yeah.
With the Tomodachi Life, I was just like. I just like was like, oh no, I'll get it, sure. So it's easy to just go on get it digitally. That's the same thing that happened with Pocopia, although I regret kind of getting that to be honest. I mean, not that it's a bad game, it's just like yeah, it's not for me. It's just too overwhelming. Like it's one of those games that just has is so much, um, but you have to do so much work, and I'm just like I don't.
Really?
Yeah, like I had like I didn't even have the first Poker Center built up. There was so much I had to do. I had to get certain Pokemon with certain abilities to build something, and then I was like, oh, I just can't. And then my town looked horrible because I couldn't build it properly because you have to go brick by brick, and it's just like, oh God, I'm just not good at designing. I like the idea of it, but I'm not. So it's like it's a good game. It's not for me. Um, so with Tomodachi Life, I was like, should I get this? Is it going to be the same thing? I guess that kind of segues into what we've been playing, um, because I've been playing Tomodachi Life and I've had a great experience with it. And the reason is because the customization in that game is kind of more like, you know what, you can do whatever you want. Like, sure, go ahead. It's
Mhm.
like it's not that you're not really you don't have to grind for anything in that game. Um, and I think maybe that's why it's not as critically regarded. It's not that deep of a game. But I'm sat here like I added Queen Elizabeth II to my island to upper the gender divide, and instantly she fell in love with Stevie Nicks, from who was just rejected by Lindsay Buckingham because Claire Redfield from Resident Evil 2 decided to confess her love for him, but she doesn't actually like him. Like they're not actually together. So she just decided to ruin Stevie Nicks' life for no reason. So so to me,
That's
it's just
hilarious.
like it's basically it's a game that it's entertaining based on how you make it essentially. So I can
Yeah.
understand maybe why some critics would go there and go, it's like, is it that good of a game? I don't know. Maybe it's not, but I've literally been addicted to it for the past week. To be honest, I've been
Yeah.
addicted to
And
it straight up.
honestly, it's not the kind of game that I personally would be interested in, but just seeing clips and videos and just the things that people do in that game, I'm like, geez, this is if
There's no
nothing
filter.
else. Yeah, yeah, exactly. If nothing else, I can see how that would be entertaining to some people. When it comes to Pocopia, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's basically Animal Crossing but Pokemon, right?
Yeah, it's kind of okay. So it is kind of Animal Crossing, but I think uh I haven't played Dragon Quest Builders, but I know that it's for the same development team. It is basically a Pokemon skinned
Ah,
Dragon Quest Builders game.
yeah.
So that means it's more kind of Minecrafty, I think. I mean,
Ah,
you have interactions with the Pokemon, like I guess like villagers, but it's really more kind of Minecrafty. You're kind of going around, but it's more about building or crafting stuff and stuff like that. But I think Dragon Quest Builders has combat, but Pokopia doesn't. So sometimes it's just kind of I guess because of that it's more Animal Crossing leaning, I guess. I
ah.
haven't played that much of it though, and I don't think I'm gonna go back to it to be honest. I mean, I kind of wish I didn't buy it, but but it's not an insult. I mean, people are loving it, and I'm glad they are because it does look. I like the lore. like the actual lore of it is really interesting for the Pokemon world. Like that's as a Pokemon fan here,
Yeah.
I've been listening to the lore with all the original Pokemon they came up with, like the variants of them, and it is interesting. I really like the lore of it and the story they came up with. But yeah, the game just isn't really my my kind of game. Yeah, I mean, with mine, the fact that I even like Minecraft is a miracle. I think the only reason I really like Minecraft is because I grew up with it. To be honest, I don't think I would
Yeah.
if it came out now. I don't think I would get into it. To be honest, I like the idea of creativity, but then sometimes I just like the restrictions.
Yeah.
I like but then even then, Minecraft, I think I would still like it because it's first person. I think the issue is with Pocopia sometimes is that it's not first person. So like when you're building stuff, I feel like it's just really odd to build in third person when you're doing block by block. Because then you have to have like a real perception of where you're aiming at it, and then yeah, I think with first person, it's definitely like doing a third person Minecraft is like. Who does that? Who does third person Minecraft? I can't imagine doing that. It'd be ridiculous. But I'm not trying to like fault Procopio. I think yeah, Procopio is kind of game that it has its like dedicated fan base. Like, it's a cozy game. So, obviously the cozy game takeover of everything. I saw a tweet and it was I think it's been quoted by a lot of people, but and it was if Procopia and Tomodachi Life both succeed back to back, then we should be expecting Sony to get Kratos in in his own cozy sim soon. I'm just
I
like
yeah. And what's funny is that it's described as a cozy game, but what I struggle to find what's cozy about grinding. I mean, that's why I personally can't get into those kind of games. I had a really hard time
yeah.
getting into Animal Crossing, for example. Like I don't really find that cozy.
Yeah, I think with Animal Crossing, and I haven't played this is a common theme here. I'm just like, here's my opinion on something. I haven't played the other ones, but I trust me, I have an opinion. Okay, all right. I have no opinion on Animal Crossing. I played the New Horizons. I enjoyed it for the summer, but that was also COVID, so I don't know how much of it was genuine, but no, no, I mean, it was enjoyable. It was enjoyable, but for me, but the I think the older games they have more of a you're kind of moving into a town, um, but you don't really have control over it. And so I guess the cozy part comes in. You're basically just an inhabitant in a village with other people, with other
Yeah.
characters, and so what you do is you just go around living in this life that you've entered. So, but I think the newer ones are more kind of you're the god of this universe and you can choose and terraform the way you want. Um, which is cool. It is cool, but I kind of I think a lot of Animal Crossing fans actually want it to go back to being more kind of passive and less kind of proactive. But that's a we get Medi on for that one. We get Medi on for that one.
Yeah.
But no, with Pocopia, it's a game that's it, even then it's not really cozy because it's like literally post-apocalyptic. The humans have literally left Earth. That's not even a joke. That's not even the lore of it. So, but yeah, no, it's yeah, I know. I'm talking about that more than I'm talking about Tomodachi Life, but it's just because I can't. Tomodachi Life is a really hard game to talk about because it's just like a game that you just have to like play or you have to look at. You have to watch. If you watch Tomodachi Life and you think, oh, that's really funny, and I want to do that, then you probably like it because it's just like it's not. You're not gonna like be blocked off by gameplay mechanics because it's just like very simple. So it's literally observing Mies. So as long as you make ones that you feel attachment to because they're characters you like or people you know, then whatever they get up to is going to be really funny or like really interesting to you based on that alone. So yeah, I mean that's why I enjoy it. To be honest, I'm just like getting excited about adding characters and
Yeah.
I think making the Miis is just quite fun. Just like see how you can kind of make them with sacrificing certain aspects of them to make it work.
Hmm.
Because I think with the face paint, it's like some people will make these really overly face painted characters, and it's like that's like defeating the purpose of making a me at that point. It's like you've just made because especially since it doesn't go around their face. It's just like they just have this guy with just like completely blank everything, but then he just has like a mask. There's a mask of a face, and it's like okay. I mean, you can do that. I'm not sure how they do it. Well, I know they emulate it, don't they? That's how they do it. But they
Yeah.
emulate it and use mods to do it most of the time. So because it is, I tried my hand at face paint and I realized how bad I am at drawing. So, yeah, I know.
But I like that though. I think
Yeah,
uh,
more
having a
challenging.
game
Yeah,
where you could express your creativity, that's cool to me, honestly.
yeah. No, I definitely, you know, I agree. I think it was very needed. I loved the Tomodachi Life Direct. Actually, that's what sold it for me. Actually, was because it just felt like it was a Nintendo was just basically dem. It was a good direct because they were just demoing what you do in the game by basically just having their own cast of characters. It's just like
Yeah.
and now I'm like stuck here like watching other people's streams of the game as well because they have like their own lore and like this is ridiculous. Literally, I'm just sat like I'm getting invested in other people's worlds. It's just like I don't know. It's just I'm actually a bigger fan of it than I expected it to be.
Yeah, and
I thought
I honestly think if I played it, I would probably be addicted to it too. It just seems like something that to me seems like a real cozy game where you can just kind of turn off your brain and just watch whatever happens, you
exactly.
know?
Yeah, that is I think the definition of a cozy game in my opinion. So and The Sims as well. I think I used to be into The Sims as well, so I guess it kind of
Yeah.
it makes sense. So I mean I've been playing Resident Evil 7. We talked about it earlier, so I don't need to talk about it too much. Um, I think we'll talk about what you've been playing because I think that's I mean I was playing Mario Galaxy 2 as well. To be fair,
Yeah.
um, I've been enjoying it. But I feel like. There's not much to say about Galaxy. I think everyone knows what the Galaxy duology at this point. There's not
Yeah.
much to say. So I'm enjoying Galaxy 2. It's more Galaxy, which I like. Um, I don't love the Galaxy games as much as the a lot of my friends, a lot of like Jackson and stuff like that. That's interesting actually. Do you prefer is Galaxy your favorite 3D Mario? Or was it
Oh,
64?
my favorite is actually it's tough. It's either 64 or 3D World. Galaxy, I have a lot of respect for,
Mm,
but it's not a game I particularly enjoy playing. It's
okay.
good. It's a good game. It's a well-made game, but it kind of kneecaps what I enjoy about Mario, which is movement, platforming, level design. It's good in those respects, but not great. And I think
Yeah,
Galaxy 2 actually is less Galaxy and more 3D World.
it is. Yeah, I think Galaxy 2 has better level design.
Yeah,
In my opinion,
and
I think it has better level design.
the
Yeah.
addition of Yoshi is just so much better than whatever the first game had going on, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think the vibe of Galaxy is really good. No, I like the vibe of it, the atmosphere. I think people overplay the atmosphere a little
I
bit. I mean, that's
agree.
my hot take. I mean,
I
you
agree.
know, I'm like, you know, it has an atmosphere, but at the end of the day, it feels a bit disconnected, like because it's level based. So, which isn't a
Yeah,
bad thing, but like for me, I mean, I know you don't love Odyssey that much, but for me, I just love it's, they're very different worlds in that game, but
yeah.
they feel kind of connected. You know, you feel like you're going on a journey, and that's also
It's
another thing with
interesting.
Bonanza for me as well, which
Yeah.
is that I mean Bonanza's even better with that because it's I mean should we, we don't want to have a we don't want to go on for too much longer. We don't want to talk about Bonanza, but um but that I mean I like the connectivity. Um
Yeah.
but I mean 3D World is, I mean, 3D World's great. I mean, I remember playing that. I mean, I played it quite late because obviously I didn't have a Wii U, so I had to wait until the Switch version. Um, but I grew up on 3D Land. That was my first Mario game actually. That and Mario Kart 7. I basically it actually 3D Land actually sold me on the 3DS, I think. I saw it and I was like, I need a 3DS. I
Yeah.
had a DSi at the time and I was like, I didn't even play any games on it. Like I straight up, I was that person. I had a DSi. I didn't play any games on it. I played like Up, I played Club Penguin game. There was a Phineas and Ferb one as well. I played licensed games, but mainly I used my DSi to use like the DSi sounds, and like the
Yes.
DSi camera. That was really fun. Stuff like that. And then I think Flipnote. I was really
Oh
addicted to
yeah, I remember
Flipnote.
that one.
That
Yeah.
I thought it was the funny. I did a video of somebody like jumping into a shark, and then I thought it was so funny when you played it backwards, and it's like, oh, but he's going out of the shark. Oh my God. So, but no, with the 3DS, I was like, I need to get this for 3D Land, because the three, the actual 3D part of 3D Land, was like so novel. It was like, oh my God,
Yeah.
it's actually 3D. I don't need any glasses, and but now you forget that was even a thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, 3D, yeah,
Yeah, I have that
yeah,
off most of the time I even touch my 3DS.
yeah.
It's actually funny.
It's what I find funny though is that 3D World is named that way when it doesn't have any meaning.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think Galaxy
Yeah.
2, the way it's less Galaxy, more 3D World.
Yeah.
Um, I agree in the sense that people kind of overplay the atmosphere of Galaxy, which is
Yeah.
why I don't necessarily care about its absence in Galaxy 2. It's funny because
Mm.
people act like Galaxy One is like this existential game about
It's not.
loneliness, and
It's
it's
not.
really not.
It
It's
really
still
isn't.
traditionally Mario. You still get your traditional Mario themes. It's just a hodgepodge of ideas, which is fine. I like Mario for that reason, but it's not
Yeah.
the way people describe it. And
Yeah.
like I said, I don't really care about its absence in Galaxy 2. You know what's funny is that I am in the minority and that I don't really like the hub world of Galaxy 1. So the
I mean, for me, I don't really like I mean, with the different like rooms, we have like the floaty things to get to the
yeah,
levels. I mean, it's a bit like, I guess it's more immersive than just like the face ship that you just, but like sometimes you're just like, I just go on
yeah, I
the
just
world
want
map.
to
Sure.
play the
Yeah.
level, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think hub worlds in general are a little bit also overhyped in general.
Yeah, I agree.
Sometimes it's like Odyssey. I mean, again, I know you don't like love Odyssey, but I feel like it's one of your criticisms that it doesn't have a hub world. Like, I mean,
No, that's never been one of my criticisms of
it
it.
doesn't need the hub world. I mean, I don't
It
know why people
doesn't.
say that. Every level is a hub world almost, isn't it? So, I mean, I think that's your issue with it, to be honest, isn't it?
Yeah.
But anyway, let's talk about what you've been playing.
Oh, which is it's interesting because to me it's kind of a spiritual successor to the Galaxy games, which is Astrobot. Not a
Ooh,
big fan. Um,
oh, hot take, game of the year.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
which is to be fair, the competition that year wasn't great, and I do
I
respect
think
it in
Metaphor
this.
could have won that year, though. I think personally, but
Yeah, yeah, but and I do respect it in the sense that it's creatively the best thing Sony has made, in my opinion, in the last like decade, probably since The Last of Us.
mm,
Um, but man, I so there's this YouTuber I watch. His name is Matthew Matosis. He's a game critic,
yeah,
and he was talking about the game in one of his streams, and he said something to me that it resonated. And he was talking about the comparison between Astrobot and Mario. And he said Mario it's almost true in the sense that Mario feels better to play. Like it's almost objectively true that it's just Mario is just better. And playing Astrobot, I'm just like, dude, I'd rather be playing Galaxy, which I don't even like Galaxy, so that's crazy for me to say, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and, and I don't want to say it's bad because it's not
Mm.
bad, but for me, it's one of the most boring games I've ever played.
Okay. I mean, that's I mean, I think for me, the only thing, I mean, it's actually ironic. I think both Galaxy and Astro have this issue, is that the level designs are really good, but then I think the movement kind of, I mean, but I think at
Yes.
least with Mario, he has like the average Mario movement. Astro doesn't really have any movement. He just kind of floats a little bit.
Yeah.
And but I mean, it didn't really bother me too much in the game. I mean, I really liked it, so I don't really have any issues with it. I think I enjoyed it more than Galaxy, to be honest.
Really. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I can see that. I mean, the level design, in my opinion, isn't great, but
I
the
mean, yeah,
presentation is fantastic. There was one level, I think it's one of the first few levels where you are a mouse essentially.
yeah, I love that level so much. I mean,
That
it's
I thought that was
yeah,
great. Um, and
I
there
know.
are ideas there that I appreciate, but I am not the biggest fan of, oh, this character has a very limited move set. So in each
Mm.
level, we'll give him a power up that expands it. I much
Yeah, the
prefer,
casino level with the time slowing. I mean,
yeah, yeah,
I quite, you know, I mean, I can see what you're saying though. It's like limited move pool, give them a different ability each time. I think my thing with Astro Bot is they need to establish more of an identity in the next one because it just feels
yeah,
like it's kind of oh it's it a Sony crossover. Or I don't know. I mean, for me, because the thing is, Astro's Playroom was like one of the biggest surprises for me ever because
yeah.
it was a free game that came with the PS5 and I played it and it was like this is genuinely like the best game on the PS5. I was
Which
like,
was
this
true for a
is
while. I don't even
yeah.
disagree with that.
No, and so it was just more of that and for
Yeah,
me I just really enjoyed it, but I can see where you're coming from. That I personally, overall, I think I disagree that it's boring. Um, I do agree with the movement, but I think the float does enough to like make it not complete. I mean, I kind of wish he had like an extra thing,
yeah,
like a long jump equivalent, maybe. I don't know, but or maybe not even a long jump, but I don't know. But yeah, the movement could be better. And I think that's what they need to
yeah.
work on for the next one. Because I hope they are doing a next one. But if they are, then hopefully they kind of like do more with Astro's actual movement.
I
But
agree. Yeah,
I quite enjoyed the level design. And I love those like the have you done like, the triangle like the shape levels?
I don't think I've got to that one yet.
Okay, well, because there's every single world there's like these asteroids that you can interact with, and they've
Ah,
unlocked
yes, yes, yeah,
these
yeah.
like shape levels that are like chat like mini challenges.
Hmm.
And those were some of my favorite because I just so I mean some of them were actually quite hard, and they it felt like there was a lot of times where they were actually like challenging me or like actually making me use uh precise platforming and obviously the movement isn't as free as Mario but
Yeah,
sometimes it was like those were designed because he isn't like as nimble so you have to be very kind of precise with what you're doing
yeah,
so I really enjoyed it personally and I mean I can't lie I did enjoy the God of War level so and I didn't really care for the I haven't played Horizon, so I didn't really care about that one. But I you know I like that they have these little crossover levels, and I don't know. I mean, I think I'm generally just easier to please, but you know, I just really
yeah.
enjoyed it personally. So,
It's cool, but
mm,
I'm one of those people that I don't necessarily care for the presentation of something most of the time.
right, that's fair enough.
Um, so a lot of these levels and the way they're presented, it doesn't do a lot for me. Like I could say, oh, that's cool, God of War crossover, but am I going
Right.
to go back and replay it? Probably not. It, eh,
Yeah, I think if it was only for me, if it was only that though, I would still mark it down. But I think the other levels that aren't that, are like
Yeah,
For me personally, they're just like they're good enough that and like they were so much they were so enjoyable enough that I was sat there like playing this and it was just like every time I finished like a level, I'd be like, oh, that was so much fun. I was having so much. I was spying the entire time. So I can understand though, obviously, where you're coming from there though, and
yeah,
obviously, hopefully I mean, when they do the sequel, they have to do another one. That I hope they kind of they do a bold swing with it again instead of just being more like
I agree.
not just being Galaxy 2
Yeah.
essentially. Which that's not slandering at Galaxy 2, but you know what I mean. We want. It'd be interesting if they actually went a completely different approach. Like, could you imagine if they went for more of a sandboxy approach? I mean, that would be kind of anti you, wouldn't it? But
Yeah.
you would like it less. But I don't know. I think they should continue to experiment with it because it's the only Sony game that is going to be cartoony, to be honest.
Yeah. And
It's
that's
the
why
only it's the only scrimbler that Sony have.
that's why I respect it in that sense is it's the only real game with soul. I don't like using that word, but it's the
Mm.
only real game with soul on the PS5 in my opinion. Even though
Yeah,
there can be an
I still haven't
argument.
played Ghost of Yotei, which I'm
Yeah, I mean, has anyone played that?
I don't know. I don't think anyone has, which is kind of sad. I I didn't even. Is it supposed to be good? I don't even know. But
You like the first one, don't you?
oh, I love the first one, so I feel like I probably like this one because it's just probably more of that. So I probably
Yeah.
also I like Spider-Man too. So you know, so I'm easy again. I'm easy to please. If it's more of the if it's more if it's more of the same but expanded, I'll probably
Yeah.
like it. I do own it as well. Um,
Uh,
to be fair, the only reason I didn't play it was because I couldn't get it when it came out, and then I got it later, and I was playing other things. So I've just kind of been, other, I got into Resident Evil now. I'm like, I can't play it until after I finish those, and I'm just like, "Ugh, whatever." Anyway, was there any other things that you were playing recently? I mean, not even just like actually right now, but like we have obviously just started the podcast. So if there's any interesting thing you've played recent
hmm.
enough that you could talk about, maybe as to cap off the podcast. For the episode, not
So
the entire podcast.
yeah. I'm trying to think. I've played, I've dabbled in a lot of things, but I haven't actually completed a lot of games.
Hmm.
Um, I did finish this one game called it's Mio, which is short for Memories in Orbit.
Oh
I
right,
wasn't.
yes.
It was. You've heard of it, right?
Well, yeah, I was revealed. It was revealed in like a direct, but I remember it was set
Yeah,
up as it was like a first party reveal, and it was like, oh, it's just a random indie game. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. And I wasn't the biggest fan of it, you know.
Mm. I thought you were liking it. I thought I know. Maybe were you like liking it at the start, and then you just kind of fell off, or
Yeah, I wouldn't even say it fell off. I just think the novelty kind of wore off for me. Um,
right?
I am a big Metroidvania person, which Super Metroid is like top 3 game for me probably.
Yeah,
So I get a lot of enjoyment out of that genre, but I think this genre has a really bad habit of I don't know if you've experienced this too much, but
yeah,
they will lock you in a room and force you to fight a bunch of enemies until you beat it, you can't progress, which I can't stand. Um, and even Silk Song, a game that I actually have been replaying recently, does that too. And I
yeah,
don't get it. I don't understand why that's a trend now.
yeah.
But
I mean, for me, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
no,
Continue.
you're good.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I love 2D Metroid so much. It's one of my favorite favorite series.
Yeah,
Um, but I almost thought I didn't like that type of game because I can't get into Hollow Knight. And I'm not sure what it is about other Metroidvanias, but I feel like they're more like Hollow Knight-vanias.
yeah. That you
Um,
know what, and that's a good point. I feel like a lot of games now, at least the modern Metroidvanias, they take more from Hollow Knight than they do Metroid or Castlevania. Hollow
yeah,
Knight is more, it's definitely a Metroidvania, but to me, it's almost like a 2D Souls game.
It's a Soulsvania.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a Souls droid.
And you know, there are caveats to that I don't necessarily think people need to be putting in their games, but I don't know. Hollow Knight was successful for a reason, I guess. So
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
just
yeah.
it's just like Mio is definitely one of those games that wants to be Hollow Knight. Like there are entire
Uh,
boss fights that kind of emulate that style, and I think it's the lamest thing ever. Like,
well, that doesn't. I mean, because if it was like if it was a Metroidvania, then I'd be like interested. But Hollow
yeah,
Knight, I don't want to stand a Hollow Knight. I haven't played it too much of it, but I tried it several times. It's like Elden Ring. I tried it several times, and I just each time I was like, I don't know.
it's slow to start. I will say that it's very slow to start, and I hate saying this because I think games should be enjoyable from the time you press play, but Hollow Knight doesn't get enjoyable until like 10 hours into it, in my
Oh my
opinion.
God. 10
Yeah.
hours in the
Yeah.
Metroidvania, bro? Seriously,
Yes.
no way.
Yes. And
I
I
was like,
think
I'm not spending that much time in a Metroidvania.
and even after that, I don't think it's that great. I like it. It's good, but I think
It's
the
so so
sequel is a
better.
lot better. Silk
Yeah.
Song is a lot better. Just which is interesting to go back to the topic of like movement. Silk
Yeah.
Song has a lot better movement. I think the
It does look like
combat,
it. Yeah.
yeah, the combat is leagues better. I think the level design is a lot better. It gets going faster as well.
Okay.
And I
It's still
think
long, apparently.
it's it's very long, but the you can beat it fast. That's the thing, and that's what I like about it. And to be fair, that goes in Hollow Knight's favor too. You
Yeah.
can beat them pretty fast if you know
Yeah.
what you're doing.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to, I probably will end up playing Hollow Knight. Um, but yeah, I mean, Silk Song was. It was such a big thing, wasn't it? And it's just now
Yeah,
it's out. It's like okay,
yeah,
it's just like it's out now, and it lived up to the hype. But then I think some people were, I think so, I saw some people saying that like, oh, it's a bit too similar to Horror Night, and I was like, wasn't it DLC originally? There was spun off into a sequel. Um,
yeah.
yeah, I think. I mean, do you think they're gonna make another Horror Night series game after this? Like, is that set up? As an outsider, I'm just curious. I mean,
That's an
is there something
interesting
else?
question.
Is there somewhere else to go with the Hollow Knight series?
I don't think so. And I would be happy with them ending with Silk Song. Of course, there are like DLCs and stuff coming, but in terms of a full game, I don't
You want
believe so.
you want them to
I
do something different?
Yeah, I would very much like if they moved on to something else. And I don't want to wait another 8 years for their next game.
Yeah, I mean that's the unfortunate thing about gaming recently is that it feels like you have to wait about 8 years between most games nowadays.
Yeah, yeah, and that's why honestly I tend to play a lot of older games. I'm not one of those people that just wait until the newest thing comes out.
Yeah, I mean, I do play a lot of I play like games that haven't just come out. Look, I say older games, and then sometimes it's just like games from like 10 years ago. But um, I do fall into the trap of kind of wanting the next thing sometimes. So I really am kind of like I'm inherently like direct pilled. You know what I mean? Like, but the difference is like. I kind of get over it a little bit easier. I'm just like, I was thinking like there was nothing in February, obviously. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe it's in April. And then it was obvious that it wasn't happening until June. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
it's not happening until June. I'll be fine. It's like it's not the end of, the end of the world.
Yeah.
I kind of got over it very quickly. So, um, but yeah, I think there is kind of that. I mean, maybe it's my ADHD. What did the next new thing? But yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, that's kind of. I mean, if there's anything else that you want to discuss, that's probably a good kind of. Oh god, it's a bit squeaky. A good kind of ending point for this first episode here. So we talked about a lot there, a lot of stuff that might be outdated by the time that you're listening to
Oh
this.
yeah.
The Star Fox specifically, that's going to be interesting to see if I'm like editing this now. To the future Luca that's editing this video right now, is Star Fox revealed? I don't know. To be fair, I might actually. I don't know. I mean, it might be released actually before then. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, it's been an interesting kind of show. There a lot of I think a lot of Zelda and Resident Evil conversation.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know how common regular this show is going to be. Um, Obviously, I think we'll try to aim for one a month, but it's obviously just a hobby at the moment, so
Yeah.
it's not like we're gonna religiously follow it if it can't happen. Obviously, we have lives, but yeah, I mean, obviously, we're gonna try and get other people on the show as well, from the Gaming Galore chat, which is this show is named after. And maybe over time we'll kind of like structure a little bit more than we have here. We kind of came with a general idea of what to talk about,
Yeah,
but
it was very off the
it's a bit
cuff.
rambly. But I think sometimes it's just kind of I think it's quite fun to have. I think
Yeah.
podcasts are more fun coming when they're off the cuff, and it feels like people are just having a conversation, right? So, I think it works. It works here, I think, but obviously in the future, we could kind of especially with more people, we could have a little bit more. But I think for if there's more than three people, then it has to have more of a structure because then it just gets chaotic. It just
Yeah.
gets off topic and gets chaotic. So we're trying to get more people on. Obviously, I think we're definitely gonna have one in June that might have a bunch of people on it.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
that one's gonna be a fun one. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Thank you for coming on. I say thank you. You're co-host, aren't you? So,
Yeah.
but but no, thank you for joining me as a co-host
Of
of this
course.
creative endeavor. So anyway, is there anything you want to leave the audience with?
Yeah, that'll be it for me.
Okay, well, I say next month, but yeah, yes, we will talk to you next month. Okay, thank you for listening.